one.
Okay. Umbrellas is taking charge. I got your...
I'm still small for a little bit.
Uh, who made you small? I didn't make you small.
Hannah.
I did.
Yeah,
Hannah
Hannah cast
makes me
reduce
small
person.
now.
Okay.
So I'll check the door.
1 minute per level
Yep, it doesn't
spells, but...
appear to be locked or trapped.
Okay, then I'll quietly open it.
Now, you think that probably the only thing keeping this abyssal larva in this room was its lack of hands and being incapable of opening doors.
Dang.
Cool.
It couldn't, like, break the door, though?
Well,
These
these do look
sturdy
like pretty
looking?
sturdy doors. They do look pretty sturdy looking.
Okay.
Alright, so you open the door. Let's see, you have low light vision. So you should be able to see a little further than that, even. You see there's a hallway that extends down, and extends past the edge of your vision for the most part. You can kind of see maybe at the very edge of it that it opens up into a room on the other side.
Alright. Well, let's just have a look-see here. I'll walk in and
What are these
check
weird
everything
things to the
carefully.
top and bottom, like left and right of
They're
me
called
when I go through
alcoves.
here? Yeah, but is there anything there, or is it just empty?
Nope. These are currently empty. You think that maybe there used to be something there, like perhaps they had little statues or something there, but there's nothing there now. So you walk a little bit forward, and you actually see a little bit more of this room, and you see something in the room as well. So I'll reveal a little bit here. So this is 30 foot down, and you can see softly glowing circle of runes shimmering on the floor. You also think you see a single flickering flame that seems to burn with no apparent source of fuel in the middle of the room. And kind of standing next to the flame, there are actually two these kind of other fires but these ones look like they're moving around. Look like there's some sort of creature, perhaps.
That's weird.
Should go introduce yourself.
And you don't think they see you yet.
I will continue to be quiet and hug the wall and get closer so I can see more into the room.
Okay. And I should probably draw like a spot where this little fire is, probably. It's kind of like right in the middle of the room. There is a little fire kind of flickering there.
I'll
Okay.
sneak up.
And then, yeah, like I said, it looks like there's some like glowing kind of runes around the edge of the room, kind of the entrance here. And it looks like it kind of extends around the like outer, like to the edge of the top of the wall here, and then to the back. Like it's kind of circling around where they're standing and where this fire thing is. And it looks like they notice you, but they don't. Like they're just kind of looking at you now, but they don't actually seem to like they're doing anything yet.
Okay.
If you have knowledge planes, you can roll that as well.
Oh boy, that's a 2.
Yeah, but fortunately, these are pretty common creatures, and you actually think you know what they are. You
Oh,
are
okay.
pretty sure that these are uh, simple, small fire elementals.
Oh.
You're not sure how they got here, but you're pretty sure that's what they are.
Are they aggressive?
You do think there's a pretty good chance that they'll be aggressive, but
Okay. But these ones haven't seemed to notice us yet.
no, it seems like they notice you, but for some reason they're not going after you yet. You do think they're
Okay,
more like
so
they tend to with their aggression tends to be more territorial, so you think perhaps if you stay as long as you stay away, they might not come after you. But
yeah,
you think it
tell
might be a problem if you try to go through the room.
I'll tell Umbrellas that, if we leave them alone, they might leave us alone. But if you want to go through there, then we'll probably have to fight.
Well, is there any way to get there without fighting them? What makes these fire elementals
Uh,
happy?
what language do fire elementals speak? Do I know? I Whatever the
You
fire language
know
is,
that
I
if
don't
you
remember.
spoke the language Ignan, you could probably speak with them.
Which I do not know. I'll ask the party, hey, does anyone know Ignan so we can talk to these fire elementals?
I do not.
No.
Maybe we should go another way.
Hmm.
There is
I
another
think
way.
we're gonna have to fight them. There are two other ways.
Indeed.
I guess we can come back.
Quietly back out and close the door.
Close the door, leave Hannah and Silric on the other side.
Yeah. Alright. I'll check this door.
Okay. Like the other one, it looks like it is a very strong, sturdy door, but is not locked or trapped.
Alright. I'll quietly open it.
Okay. This
God, I just want one
door,
time for the GM to be like, the door does not appear to be trapped. Players like, I
and
open it.
it to
GM says,
actually be trapped.
it's trapped.
That could happen sometime. So
Alright.
this seems to have a set of stairs that lead down a hallway to kind of a T intersection.
I'll quietly scout it. Hug the wall here.
Jace comes with, trying to be stealthy.
I'm rolling well on my stealth checks.
And yeah, you see it looks like from that angle you can kind of see that the hallway down here continues some ways.
I'll go over on this side and look down the other hallway.
Okay, same thing. See the hallway seems to continue short ways down that way. Looks like it continues past where you can see though. Pilbo will wait at the door. Alright, so on this side here, looks like on this side the hallway goes into an area where there's a room. And same thing on here. There looks like there's kind of like a room at the end of this hallway as well. plus another like corner that leads down. Looks like either an extension of the room or possibly another hallway.
Alright. I'm gonna go left. I'll quietly scout out this direction.
That's right, Abrellis.
Shush
Like
you.
Abralis is like doing that thing where you hold up your two hands and make L's and be like, which one makes the L? Oh, it's
Are you
that one.
sure that that beastie back there, slug maggot guy, didn't hit? I'll keep a mental note to keep an eye on Abrellis.
Okay. Pilbo will hang back here. Alright, so yeah, you see that this is indeed a hallway that kind of looks like a hallway that indeed extends further to the south, maybe?
Okay.
I'm hoping
I'll
this map works like a normal map. I know
sneak
Paizo
over.
likes to do sometimes. Okay, and yeah, this looks like the hallway turns back the direction you came, kind of like a loops back around.
Alright. I'll go through this hallway carefully, checking for traps or anything.
Okay. I assume you're being stealthy.
Yes.
All right. Let's see the roll.
Alright. The stealth roll?
Yes, please.
Okay. I'm assuming that the 3 minutes of small have gone by,
Yeah, that probably is worn off by now.
so I'm normal sized again.
Okay.
I'll stay like
Keep
at this
going
corner.
down stealthily
Just
till I can peek my head over
Abrellis
this
gives me a
corner.
signal.
Okay. Well, you're in luck. There, you see some creatures there, but they don't notice you. So it's kind of this circular chamber. And there's some stairs that look like they lead up a balcony, up to about a balcony rather.
Mm-hmm.
And you see these things, and they're kind of not really doing anything at the moment. Like they're kind of just milling about.
But they look pretty ugly, and they're carrying like a weapon.
Um, yeah, they're carrying spears. I'm gonna make the token a little bigger, just real quick, so you guys can kind of get a better look at them.
Yeah. They're ugly, nasty looking things. They don't look alive. They look a little undead. I give Jace the signal that means, uh, come over and bring and get the weapons.
You send him the danger signal.
Yeah.
So Abrellis is like pointing around the corner and like, oh my god, it's dangerous kind of motion.
Yeah.
Your
Get ready to
weapon
kill
and
stuff.
pointing at me. So I'm like, okay, guys, I think there's danger ahead. Get ready. Then we're gonna sneak up here and try and.
Yeah, it's a vaguely humanoid creature, is about as tall as a human, and has clawed hands and dark grayish black flesh. Wields a spear in its clawed hands. Okay, that's pretty stealthy.
I'll have my mithril short sword drawn.
Would Silric like to roll a stealth check as well, coming down this hallway? Okay, cool. Yep, you guys managed to get up there without them noticing you guys. Jason, you look around this corner here. If you'd like, you may make a knowledge planes, since I know you have that skill. And I don't, Umbrellas, if you have knowledge planes, you can roll it as well, but I don't think you do, so.
I don't.
Okay, Jace, you know that these are a type of devil. Not a particularly strong type of devil, but a devil nonetheless. Unlike the abyssal larva you guys fought earlier, these are creatures of law and evil rather than chaos and evil. They do have damage reduction, and you need either good or silver aligned, silver weapons rather, to do full damage to them. And they are immune to fire and mind affecting effects because these creatures are like they have kind of this they're like in such eternal torment. Basically, their minds are completely fractured, basically, and yeah, they're not able to be affected by anything that affects their minds because of it.
Okay, I'll whisper to Umbrella. It's like, maybe we should come back if we find some weapons that can damage them, fully hurt them.
I put a silver dagger into Jace's hand,
Okay.
and I've got my mithril short sword.
Yep, you guys do have a couple silver weapons.
And I will say, I'll nod my head in, like, readiness.
All right,
All right, and then Nebraska, can you give me a perception check as well?
sure.
Okay. Noted. All right, so what do you guys do?
I tell the others to go in there.
I'll
Yeah, they don't know you're there, so if
think
you
I
guys would
want
like,
to hand the silver dagger to Umbrellas, or sorry, to
Okay, fine.
Silric.
to
I
Silric.
take the silver dagger. Oh, okay.
Sorry to Silric, because I feel like I can probably be okay. Silric, you don't have anything silver, right? You would accept it?
I'll accept it.
Yep, it's not a
'Cause then
monk
I don't have
weapon,
to
so you
add
won't
it
be
to
able to
my
do
sheet.
flurry with it, but you could use it. I'm guessing the dagger's just an alchemical silver one, so it does one less
No, it's
damage than
just
a.
completely silver. It's the one we got at the very beginning of the game.
Oh, okay.
The one that was in the box.
Okay, no, that one is an alchemical silver dagger then. So yeah, it does 1d4 -1 damage basically, but if you have high strength, you can still increase it obviously, but just like normal. But it'll do slightly less damage against things that aren't vulnerable to silver like these things are.
Alright, maybe the dagger's not good. I don't know.
Sure, it's good.
It's yeah. I mean, these things have DR. I mean, I'll just tell you now, it's
I
DR5
assume
silver.
it's 5 because they're weak.
Yes,
Yeah.
DR5 silver. Well, I mean, I figured I'd mention that because like it could have been like DR2 silver or something like that. Like I think the
Oh,
mites
okay.
have DR2 cold iron, so it's like not really that big a deal if you don't have cold iron if you're fighting a mite. But
No, it's fine. I'll use my bow here.
well, like I said, they don't know you're there. So if you guys have something you guys would like to do as like a surprise round here
Yeah,
on
I'll
them,
take my bow
feel
out
free.
and kind of ready aim at the one down below.
Okay, you're moving out and trying to shoot at it. Then that'll be like your surprise round action. If you'd like, you can do that now. We can have you guys do your surprise round action right here, and then roll initiative if you'd like.
Don't have spell combat.
I'm going
Can't
to
use spell
remain
combat here.
hidden behind that corner.
Will I have
Surprise rounds
rapid
you only
shot?
have.
Is rapid shot part of a full round or not?
It's part of a
Yes,
full
rapid
round.
shot is part of a full round. So you can only do a standard action right here before we roll initiative.
But I can do spell strike, right?
Sure.
Or not?
That is something you can do. And you know these things are resistant to acid and cold, but not immune to it like they are to fire.
I'm gonna do spell strike with acid splash though.
Sure.
Uh. I will do this. Just ignore the. Sorry, I am trying to remember what I had here.
Yeah, that's fine. Take your time.
Wait, it's the same. Okay, it's the same thing basically, because I only have one attack anyways. I just can't do spell combat.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what does spell strike do? Am I crazy?
Lets you do acid splash as part of your attack. Like you or do
Okay,
acid
that's all.
splash on top. It lets you do
I
acid
don't get
splash and
an extra
deliver it
arrow
through an
though.
arrow. No, not unless you're doing spell combat. The acid splash cast gives you a free attack to deliver it as like part of
Okay,
the cast.
so I just do one normal attack roll.
Basically, yeah.
Okay.
But it does acid damage on top of its regular damage.
Yeah, okay. I rolled a 2. So it doesn't matter.
Let's see. Does this hit it flat-footed anyway, though? No. Okay, so it misses. An arrow flies. It hits him, but it doesn't. Kind of bounces off, I guess. It doesn't hit enough to do any actual damage. Do Silric or Abrellis want to do a single action of some sort? Either a ranged
I
attack
am
or you want to move
remaining
into
stealthed
place?
and readying an I'm readying an attack to to attack anything that comes within my reach.
Okay. And then
I'm
Yeah,
what
I'll
staying
about
just
hidden.
remain
Silric?
here. I'll just remain
You're gonna
here.
Okay, so you guys are gonna wait and see what they do. Okay, well everyone can roll initiative then. Yeah, I'm just gonna put you like
I mean,
overlapping that wall.
plus 8 mod at level 3, that's not bad, right?
Of
I
course
feel
it's
like
not
that's
bad.
not bad.
Why are you
God
complaining?
damn
Because you
it.
rolled a 2?
Just tell him it's bad so that he tries harder.
God
It's
damn it.
Exhaust him.
And then a 1 on initiative.
Sure, I'll tell him to number harder.
Yeah.
That's what we're gonna do for your game now, Matt. That's the next character I'm
Your
making.
what?
Rebel.
His character for Hell's
whatever.
Rebels.
You can number hard all you want.
Alright.
I mean, if I'm playing a fighter, I kind of need to, I think.
Is that what you're planning to play now on that?
Isn't that what I've always been planning to play?
I don't remember.
I was planning on doing something with the fighter and
Just be prepared to be part of political talks.
Oh, maybe I'll play Vigilante after all, Pluto. Pluto and I are making Vigilantes.
Oh, is that what we're
You
doing?
can't both be vigilantes
What? How come we can't both be vigilantes?
because I said so.
That's messed up. Vigilantes
But
are like
what
the
if
best
we're
class
like
to
a
run
hero and
multiples
his
up.
sidekick? He's Batman, I'm Robin.
Well, the other thing is that vigilantes are a very diverse class. Like one of us could be an arcane casting vigilante with the Inquisitor spell list, and the other one could be a vigilante, like a warlock vigilante that has the arcane spell list.
This campaign only has enough room for one Caped Crusader.
Oh, okay.
I don't care that much if I play
All right.
Vigilante.
So let's see here. The first thing to go first is Silric. Are you gonna continue? Do you want to delay until after one of these goes, or?
Yeah, I'll delay.
Okay. So this one is going to take its turn now. Then, which one is this? Okay, so he's going to.
Also, notice the arrow. Okay.
He's gonna come in here and come after Jace and try to stab you with a spear. Okay, yeah, I was like, that looks a little absurd, but so I was looking at the wrong thing. There's a 19 hit Jace.
Yep. That's a good roll.
Okay. Does
Alright,
6
so,
damage.
do I get to attack it? Because it's kind of within my...
Oh yeah, he should have gotten his ready
Yeah, sure.
action. Umbrella, or she.
Alright, I'm gonna stab it.
If you one-shot it, I don't take the damage.
I don't think I'll one-shot it. But I'm gonna try and hit it. I'm targeting... I get to
You're
go
not
for its
gonna one-shot
flat-footed
it.
though, which is nice.
I mean, if you crit.
Yeah, you might one shot it.
Maybe if I get a really good crit.
Yeah.
Let's see. Uh,
Red numbers.
yeah, but you actually one shot. You don't have to. You can take that damage off your
Oh my
character
god.
sheet if you'd like. Would
No, I think I'll leave it
Silric
on.
like to go
I don't
now,
wanna
or do you want to continue holding? There's another one of these going in a second here if you want to keep waiting.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait.
Okay. I just want to put this one to the front because it's going to move into the same square. And it's also going to attack Jace. I'm assuming that one misses, though. On Jace, right?
I think, well, I have 18 AC. I think Silveric also has 18.
Yeah, I have 18.
No, it was attacking Jace.
I know.
But it misses. Alright, so Silric, I'm going
I'm
to
just
let
saying
you
we're
go
the same, so it's
next.
easy to remember.
Oh, well, okay. Sure.
We're both old enough. I mean, armored enough.
So using the silver dagger, I don't know if that's something that's configured on your sheet or not, but the attack should be the same as like your knuckle axe. It'll just do different damage. I'll do 1d4 -1 plus whatever your strength modifier is.
Oh, that's the knuckle axe.
Yeah, well, we just take the first roll. You'll have to roll some different damage though than that. So the 15 will hit. So if you just want to manually roll for the damage on it, we can do that with a d4. Let's see, what is your strength modifier? It's +3, so a d4 minus or d4 +2 will be your damage if you'd like. Okay, and that is enough to actually kill this thing.
Oh wow, they are weak. Okay.
Hannah, would you like to do anything? I'm gonna finish out this round. Even though nobody can see anything.
guess I'll just start
guess you
approaching,
can't even see into the room.
and I'll just come here, double move.
Oh, I didn't roll Pilbo's initiative. Pilbo's gonna go at the end of the round. Alright, and Jace.
Well, I give a quick nod to Silric and Abrellis for their hand, and
Okay.
then I'll ready an action to shoot anything that.
Okay, then we are out of combat.
Cool.
No exploding bodies or anything. That's good.
Nope.
Because that could have been devastating. End of the round, the body explodes, dealing blah 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 damage, and there's 3 of us standing around it on 2 bodies. What do we see in the room? I mean, besides the stairs to the balcony, is there anything else?
Alright, let's... So, this room... curving balcony wraps around the east side of the room, and a stair descends 10 feet to the floor below. And yeah, it looks like the balcony just overlooks the circular area down here. Can't really make out a whole lot on that balcony right at the moment.
All right, I guess we're
Turn
going
around and make
upstairs.
sure everyone else is caught up.
Yeah, Silric will... I mean, not Silric, Pilbo. Pilbo will try to catch up. He's just hanging out.
I mean, Pilbo knows the importance of having a rear guard when you go into like tunnels and hallways like this. You never know when someone might come from the back. You don't
Yeah,
want them.
that's his excuse. He's like, I'm keeping watch back here. Protecting your back. Let me reveal some more of this balcony up here now. So, yep, there's a balcony, and then there's a hallway that leads, and you can kind of see that there, with your low light vision, you can see that there are some doors at the edge of this hallway.
All right. I'll continue to move forward carefully, looking around and being quiet.
In this balcony, anything interesting?
Would you like to roll a perception? You don't notice anything interesting, like in terms of items or anything like that, but you do think you feel like, kind of like you think you feel like and notice like some movement, but when you look, there's nothing there, and you get this feeling that there's something in the room with you, perhaps, or maybe it's just the wind, the strange subterranean wind.
I'm gonna use detect magic and just kind of go in a 360 around myself. Detect.
Okay. You do detect some magic. Up to your north.
Okay, and I'll concentrate.
All right, and as you concentrate, the aura leaves your cone, and you no longer detect it.
I'll detect in a circle again.
What the hell are you looking for, Jace?
There's something magical around here.
Oh, let me know when you
To
find it.
the west.
Um, damn it. I'm gonna try and concentrate.
As you do, it leaves your cone again before you have a chance to pinpoint it.
I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna tell the party there's something here. It keeps moving, and I'll do it one more time.
You do, but nothing.
So I'll say there. I kept detecting something magical around us, and then it would disappear and show up somewhere else, and then it was just gone. I don't know.
Well, maybe it'll show itself sooner or later.
I say, no, I don't want to yell because there could be other things in here with. I mean, it knows that I know it's here, whatever it is, whether it's a creature or a person or a magical item. So there's some kind of magic going on here. Is weird. I'll try and keep an eye out for future.
All right.
Alright. Gonna go forward.
Okay. So this room right here reveals the whole thing. You see 3 doors in total. 3 doors and a corridor open off in this small anteroom. A fountain made of green stone on the north wall still provides a constant flow of water. So you can hear some like kind of trickling water in that
There's
fountain up there.
water. Although I doubt it's as good
Well,
as the
obviously
water we have
I'll.
over at the other fountain.
Yeah, obviously I'll detect magic on it.
You
and
do
see if
detect
it's
magic.
as good as the other water. Okay, I'll concentrate on this and hope it doesn't disappear.
Nope. The magic you detect on the water fountain is still there. And
School
yeah, you
is
can roll an Arcana
Arcana.
check. Yeah, like the last one, it seems to have a conjuration aura on it. And it does, in fact, seem like it's very similar to the one, if not identical to the one on the other fountain.
Do I know what
You go
it
up and touch
that
it?
for sure is? Yeah.
Yeah, you're pretty confident after doing that this has the same properties. It would have this same limitations, and in fact, you think it might be even from the same source, so that it would, if you drank from the other one already today, this would, you wouldn't get any of the
Okay.
healing effects from this one either. Can't double
Well,
dip
I'll share
by
that
going
with
to 2
everyone
different.
and say, you know, this is the same water from that fountain, but I guess it's down here.
Oh.
So whoever
Alright.
designed this dungeon, or not dungeon, but this building, this complex, I guess they had a need for healing water throughout their day. Strange that the ancient Thessal have something like this, but I guess they were regularly getting hurt. So we see 3 doors in front of us here. Are there any markings or anything on them?
Uh, no, but you do notice something else while you're looking in the fountain. You see a pale green key It looks like inside the fountain. Under like it almost blends in because the fountain itself is kind of a greenish color.
I'll pick it up and I'll show it to Abrellis, who is the resident lock door master.
And roll an
Alright,
appraise
cool.
check
You
on it.
found a key.
It does
A
seem
what?
like it's made
Valuable.
out of an appraise check if you'd like. It looks like it's made out of some sort of special material. But you're not able to identify it. It looks like it's some sort of rare metal of some sort.
Oh,
Hannah is
show it to
able to
Hannah.
tell that it appears to be made out of no-qual metal. Kind of strangely magic resistant metal. And that this key, just for the metal it's worth, could sell for as much as 500 gold pieces. Regardless of whether or not it opens anything.
Well, Hannah, since you know what it is, perhaps you should hold on to it.
Oh hey, Ron's here.
Oh my god. And then Pilbo just died. That's awful. Oh wait,
Oh,
Ron's here.
terrible.
Mm-hmm.
How you doing?
Okay.
So how's that outrageous builders club?
Haha.
Wait, what does OBC mean? None of us knew what that meant.
I meant OBV.
Why is it obvious?
Because he was already late at that
I was
point, I
already
guess.
late at that point.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought about that, like, oh, V is one letter off of C, but then I'm like, well, it's not obvious because he didn't say anything before that. Like, because I didn't look at the time. I was just like, if you said, like, I'm going to eat dinner, I'm going to be late, obviously. But,
Alright, Rod. Well, you didn't miss a whole lot. They killed some, strange
well,
demons
wait, we need
called
the other OBC from Ron, though.
Nooperebos.
So the other meaning of OBC, Ron, is official beer count. So we need to know what your OBC is.
Whiskey.
That's not even beer. What?
Okay.
Asking for a number and you just say whiskey? What? So anyway, yeah, they saw some fire elementals down one hallway, but decided the fire elementals for some reason like looked at him but didn't come after him, and they're like, well, I think as long as we don't go in the room, we're fine. So they decided not to go in the room and tried the other door, and then from here they've gone down. Not too far. Had one fight. Jace detected something weird moving around with his detect magic, but nobody could see anything. And they just found a really fancy 500 gold piece key made out of
Yep.
sky metal.
I'll just hang on to it, since Hannah's identified
Oh,
it
you
for
are?
us.
Okay.
Alright, so take a look at these doors over here. Let's check out this door.
Okay. Take to roll a perception check.
Sure.
Okay. You don't notice anything on the door, but you do hear something coming from, it sounds like from the south door. Like voices.
Oh, alright, well, I better go listen in then. I tell the others to stay quiet.
Okay. Let's see. Do you have your languages on your character sheet? Is that something I can access on there?
Let me see.
Where would it be if it was on here? Oh, there it
Oh
is.
yeah, I do.
Languages. Yep.
It's under the
That's right.
the core character details.
Okay, so they are speaking a language that it does not appear that you understand. The voices.
All right.
I'll go listen to it. A Dwarven, Sylvan, and Abyssal.
You do not understand it either. And then after a short while, then you don't hear them for a little bit. Seems like the voices have stopped. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna try and open this door.
Okay. Yeah, it doesn't appear to be locked or trapped, so.
I'm gonna open it quietly.
Okay. You can roll a stealth check if you'd like.
Let's see, where's myself?
So a low table sits at the center of the room with two low benches sitting on either side of the table. A wooden stringed instrument of archaic design leans against one of them. And standing on the other side of the table, or not standing so much as kind of floating there, are two creatures. One of them has fiendish wings and a whipping scorpion-like tail lashing out behind this diminutive red-skinned nuisance. And the other one is a vaguely humanoid creature about as tall as a human that has clawed hands and oh no, I'm reading the wrong one. Wrong description. No, this one is kind of like got a sorry, this one's got like a kind of it's small, pretty small as well, and has kind of the body of a like a fly. And it's hovering there, but like it's got the lower half. Its lower half kind of looks like a fly, and it's got wings on it. And I'm gonna make its token bigger here because this is a very lovely looking fellow here. Um, yeah, it's got kind of golden curly looking hair and yeah, looks pretty creepy here. And as you open the door, it notices you. Says, "Yes, come in. I believe I have a business proposition for you."
Hold on. Who the hell are you?
Hmm. You know, it's rude to ask for someone's name without introducing yourself first.
No,
Come
she's
in, take a
visibly
seat.
disgusted with his appearance.
Yeah.
But she does say back, we're 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 looting and pillaging this place, and my name is Abrellis.
Well, I am Lord Boz.
Just lord of this here room.
Well, not just this room. My reach expands across this great realm.
Oh, what you doing here then?
Like I said, I rule over the other devils in this little realm of mine. However, I do have some work. Would you like to do it? If you do, I would let you leave this place freely.
And she says we're already on some business here.
His tone kind
You
of
don't happen
darkens.
to
He says,
have
he says, I
any
don't think
ancient
you understood
paintings?
what I was saying here. I'm not giving you an option here. You are going to work for me.
Hmm.
There's a little upstart on the other side of this complex, and I want you to go and kill him.
You mean King Zuga?
No, I.
Hell, I'd kill him for a Klondike bar.
There's a upstart little imp, sort of log the same type of devil as this one right here, and he motions to the little imp kind of fluttering next to him. He fancies himself lord of this place, but well, as I already said, I am the lord of this place. For his insolence, he deserves death. And if you
Alright,
don't
what'll
do
you
this
give me
for
if I
me,
do kill him?
your lives, of course.
I already have my life, mate.
Oh, for now.
I'm talking about gems and wealth and money.
Well,
You know,
if
a
you
job
really
doesn't
wanted.
come freely.
No, this. I'm telling you, you need to go and kill this thing, or I will kill you. And he flies up higher in the room, trying to appear menacing, but probably not doing that great a job of it.
Hmm.
Do I know what this creature is?
You may roll a knowledge planes if you'd like.
I don't know how you do things where you come from, but where I come from, which is here, this plane of existence, or so I'm told. You ask someone to do something, and then you pay them with something valuable. What the
Okay.
hell is that thing over there? And I point at the thing with the wings and the tail.
I'll make the token bigger for you, but
Yeah, she's never seen one of these.
yeah. So Jace knows that the smaller one is an imp, and the other one is what is called an accuser devil or a zebub. And
Are they powerful?
they're more powerful considerably than the things you fought at the bottom of the circular
Well, sure. Those
room
things
over
were
there.
pushovers.
Yeah, I mean these things they're relatively strong. It's definitely a lot stronger than the imp as well.
The Lord or whatever, I believe it's probably telling the truth.
You do think he's probably stronger than like any of the other devils that you've seen. You're not. You think he's probably on par with like the abyssal larva you fought, if anything, although not as physically strong. If that makes sense. But he's
Yep.
got some other abilities like, and he's able to fly around, and he's intelligent. And you know, he has the same sort of resistances and DR as the repo bows or whatever. Nuperebos. He's got you need silver or good aligned weapons to do full
Silver or
damage to him.
Silric?
Yeah.
And it looks like he's beginning to turn hostile on you guys.
Oh, hold on. If you give me that
I
weird
tell
little pet
Abrellis,
of
don't piss
yours,
it off.
then I'll go kill him.
You want him to go with you?
No, I want him as a pet. I'll put him in a
And
little
he says,
bird cage or
"Hey,
something.
I'm not a pet. How dare you?"
Apparently you are, since he almost agreed to trade me you. How
Yeah,
how
and then
bad do you
like
want this other
Lord-
guy dead?
Lord Boz is kind of like shrugs. He's like, "It's fine with me."
See? I say to the imp. Or what I don't
Boss!
know is an imp.
Yeah, boss, what the hell? But he just ignores and says, "Very well. You'd kill this upstart imp, and you can have this imp instead."
Alright, see, now we're talking. See? That thing right there is something of some wealth and value.
Abrellis want an imp. We're not keeping this thing with us. But I
I
just go along with it because
I
I assume
nudge
that you
him.
don't actually
Yeah, I just go
want
along.
to keep it. Yeah, I go along with it. I trust you. I'll talk to you later if you try and actually keep it.
Alright, so what is this guy that I'm looking for?
Yes,
Yeah, who is
he's
this other
over on the other
upstart?
side of the complex. If you,
All the way on the other side?
yeah, I could give you directions if you'd like.
Sure.
If you go back down the stairs, the bottom of the balcony, and take the U-turns back the other direction on that other hallway, all the way down the hallway, take a left, then take a right, another right, like 3 more rights or so, and then you'll be there. That'll be his
Alright,
area where he's
Wait.
holed up.
I'll write all
Wait.
this down.
I gotta write this down. Yeah. Okay, this was
Well, I write it
take
down in
a
character.
Yeah.
I get the directions from him.
left, right, something, something,
It's
something.
mostly
3
rights.
Cool, but okay, it's fine.
Yes, don't listen to anything he says. He's a treacherous being. Disgrace to all true devils.
Oh, he's also a devil?
Yes.
But he doesn't look like you, does he?
No, he looks like this one.
Like this one?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm,
He just doesn't know his proper place.
I see. Alright, so I'll come back for this one and I point at the other imp after I'm done.
Okay. He tells you, very good. I'd also suggest not going through the room on the other side of that antechamber you're standing in, since you
Why
weren't
is that?
willing to come in and negotiate like a civilized person. Well, there's some dangerous prisoners that I have there. They'll
Well, do they have
attack you
anything
on
valuable?
sight. Uh, not that I know of. Nothing that I value, at least.
What about coins?
No, they don't have any coins.
Are they also devils?
Indeed.
Okay, but you wouldn't mind if they died, right?
I prefer them alive, but it wouldn't matter that much to me.
I see.
They also are insolent.
Oh, okay. Alright, well, it was not that much of a pleasure doing business with you. But business was done.
Yes. Do not come before me unless you've defeated this treacherous, foul creature.
I'll do a thing, and I close the door.
Alright. Close the door.
Alright. I go back here with the others, and I say, that was strange, and I guess there's a lot of devils here.
Oh.
I don't know what they're doing here.
Should we get rid of them?
I kind of want to. I wonder if that other thing, be killed, was also a devil. If so, I don't think we should have that much problem killing them.
I can't remember if Jace already told you or not whether or not this thing down here was.
If I didn't, I did now.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you don't actually want to keep the imp.
Not like as an actual pet. But if he agrees to give it to me, then it makes it killing it that much easier. But I don't know, maybe we can turn more of these devils on that thing, and then get rid of all of them.
Are we concerned about the strength of that individual?
I don't think so, but the fact that he's intelligent and trying to negotiate things is a little, you know, weird.
Yeah, Jace, one thing I'll mention you know about both it and imps is that they have the ability to turn invisible.
Oh.
And
So
it
it
kind
was
of dawns on you that
probably
maybe that
the
thing you
imp that
detected
was.
was an imp. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll tell that to a bro. It's like, oh, that thing that I thought I was detecting was magic. I bet it was an invisible imp. I'm not crazy.
Yeah.
So let's go find this imp. I'm fine killing an imp. If you get to own that one, we can send it back to where it came from or kill it too.
Sure.
Well, you rolled a knowledge planes on imps, right?
So I guess we're
I
going out this way
did.
again?
I'm sorry. Did you say yeah? You did.
Yeah.
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 Jace rolled one.
So you know that like planar creatures typically when you kill them they just go back to their plane.
Right, that's why I said we'll kill it or send it back to
Yeah.
its plane.
But just kill it to send it back
Oh
to its
yeah,
plane.
you guys probably finished these things off, I'm sure too.
Yeah, but there's no need to be overly cruel about it if we find another way to.
They're devils. Wait,
All
where
right,
are we
so you
going?
guys are gonna.
Shit. Can you
I think
shift
everyone's
ping
going back
me over
around
there?
the. Hey, I'll just move everyone's
Maybe
tokens
take my
over
turn.
there,
Yeah.
and then shift ping you. Yep.
I'm
Yep.
lost.
I gotcha. I got you. Okay, so this room up here. When you guys get up to here, you reveal the rest of the room. This room Pillars stand in either end of this wide room, with the northern pillar carved with the image of a beautiful woman wielding a ranseur, familiar-looking woman at that. The southern pillar depicts 7 robed men and women, their features eroded with the years. Each of them holds one segment of a 7-pointed star. Strange runes are carved into the floor. And as you guys are going in there, Pilbo recognizes that the runes are in Thassalon, or Thessalonian.
Okay.
And Pilbo could also tell that the runes that are on the floor, so this is kind of right between the 2 pillars, embedded on the floor, and they say, in Thessalonian, does true power lie within the one or the many?
True power lie with the one or the many.
Yep, I'll put it in chat. Embedded on the floor in ancient Thessalonian runes.
Spooky.
What do you guys do? Just walk through?
Yeah.
I'm going back this way.
Follow my
Um,
allies.
oh, walk inside carefully and
I'll
check it
sit
out.
back here and I'll
Okay.
see what happens to Abrellis.
Yeah, she walks into the room and doesn't.
I gotta check for
nothing seems
traps.
to happen. Yep, you don't think there's any traps. Nothing
I
happens
detect
when
any
you
magic in
walk up
here?
to the ruins. You do. You detect magic coming from both the pillars.
There is magic in the pillars.
Okay, well, I guess leave it to you magic folk to
Do you want to
discern
identify it, Pilbo?
what's going on here.
I guess I'll detect magic. And
Okay. Yeah, you detect magic on both the pillars.
Aura.
You think they both seem to have very similar divination auras, but they seem to have kind of this weird polarity to them, almost like one's a positive and the other's a negative, perhaps, like the north and south ends of a magnet, perhaps.
Weird. I just point that stuff out, but I'm like, I don't really know what that means, but be careful when between them. Maybe walk around them. I don't know.
Walk around them.
Yeah, I mean, you don't even need to go up there. You can just walk through, and there's a hallway that continues on this way as well to a T intersection. And
Okay,
if you remember the accuser devil Lord Boz's directions, where he said to take the first left after this
left,
room.
yeah. Up here.
It looks like there's some like stairs kind of going to the right though.
Stairs going to the right. Do they descend or ascend?
Looks like they go down. So there's a hallway, there's some more stairs up here.
Do I know what
Okay.
spells on these pillars? Or at least one of these?
You're not sure. You come up and touch the pillar though, and this one is the one that has the single woman holding the ranseur, and
Sure, I have the
you
Ranseur on here.
feel, yeah, you feel kind of this, like it feels good. You get this kind of weird sensation.
It feels good.
Yeah, you get this weird sensation that like things kind of feel clear, like you're thinking clear. You think,
Okay.
Hmm.
um,
Weird.
but
Don't
you
know
aren't
what
able to
that was.
identify a specific effect.
Oh well. I wouldn't touch the other one. It's probably the opposite. That one made me feel good. The other one might make you feel bad.
Yeah.
So yeah, the room down to the south. You kind of see some of it here. It's an oddly shaped room, retains some of the trappings of its former glory. Remarkably well preserved tapestries hang at the back of alcoves above stone benches. Both depict a mountain with a woman's face carved into the peak above an immense bridge. So I guess you guys can't really see the tapestries yet, though. So probably shouldn't be reading those yet. But yeah, there's a room down there. Single stone pillar stands in the middle of the room. The image of a seven-pointed star, with a hole in its center carved onto its north face. You can see that because that is right up at this point. A brass portcullis stands to the west, barring entry into the hallway beyond. You can kind of barely see the portcullis. Be like right
That
here.
star is like the shattered star, right? Like
Maybe.
do we know how many points the shattered star has?
There's 7, just like the image.
Okay. Yeah. So
Yeah, so that's not that might be a coincidence, but yeah, it does line up with what you know about the Shattered Star.
we know that
Obviously,
about the
this
shattered star.
might be a
We know
depiction
that
of
there's
it
a
before it was
piece down
shattered.
here, perhaps.
Yeah, maybe this was a picture
And
of it
yeah, if
before it
it
was
shows it
shattered.
whole, then yeah, that would make sense. Okay, I think we're in the right area. We're getting warmer, I think.
And then actually, maybe from there, you can maybe see one of those tapestries. So I can go back and reread that again. So yeah, they depict a mountain with a woman's face carved into the peak above an immense bridge that crosses the ocean below. While at the mountain's base rises a strange city.
Okay.
Hmm. Well, I think you wanted us to go up here, right?
Yeah, but there's a tapestry.
Yeah, but tapestries.
Well, that should be that might be valuable actually. Actually,
Yeah,
we do
we
want to
should
try and recover stuff. All right, I'll check
recover.
ahead carefully.
Okay. Yeah, and you see the second tapestry when you get in here as well in this other alcove.
Neat.
And
I'll
if you'd like
check
to
them
roll
out.
perception to look around this room.
Sure.
Yeah, looks like a room.
Room.
Yeah, I motion for the others. Guess we'll start
I want to
trying
take a
to
look at
figure
that
out how much
tapestry.
these tapestries are worth.
Yeah, and if you look in here, this portcullis, you can look through it, and it leads to a doorway. Since you guys have been
I
over
don't
there, you
realize
assume.
probably what that is, but like
Maybe.
that's
I mean,
a hard sense of direction to pull. I don't know.
yeah. Yeah, you might not.
But maybe I don't know.
I
If the
guess
doors look unique, maybe I'd notice. and
I guess
recognize.
actually these stairs might be leading up. Now that I think about it, like in order for the geometry to make
Oh,
sense.
yeah, that would make sense. And they have been putting dark shadow on the lower end of the stairs and light on the top of the stairs.
Yep, that's a good point. I was just thinking though that makes it's the only way it really
It
makes
could
a
be
lot of
an
sense.
infinite staircase, and the entire thing is just slightly slanted, not level.
Maybe. Alright, so Brelis rolls an appraise. You think these tapestries are indeed probably very valuable, especially if you are selling to someone who's particularly interested in Thessalonian history. Perhaps
Yep,
like.
we do.
Mhm. Yeah, you do happen to know someone. Perhaps Lord Heedmark.
Yep.
Well, we better carefully wrap them up.
So this right here, we can
That's a
see through it,
portcullis.
right? It's a portcullis.
Yep.
Okay.
You don't see any
Oh,
way to
that's
open it though.
convenient. We can just go right back.
Only if you
Oh,
figure out a
Yeah,
way
we
to
don't have
it's
any
open
way
it.
to open it.
strange.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say it's strange that the guy didn't tell us to go this way if it was that simple.
Hmm. Well, there's got to be a way to open it.
Do we need to open it?
Maybe.
I mean, it'd be nice to have the way back, like, quickly.
Mm. I I don't know.
Try to look around the room or something for like a lever or a switch.
Sure. Would you like to roll another perception?
Sure.
I'll hope.
Okay. What do Pilbo and Silric want to do during this time? Are you guys gonna help search or?
Yeah.
Silver rolled no, never mind. That was a.
All right. So let's see here. When you guys are looking around, you check a couple places that you check. You notice that there appears to be something hidden in the the rod that hangs the tapestries on this one over here. Or sorry, no, it is this one actually. It doesn't matter, I guess, but yeah, it's actually the western one. That has something hidden inside the rod that it hangs from. You realize like it's a hollow tube, and inside there is a wand.
Ooh.
You also notice something. It looks like the Sahedron in the top part of this northern pillar here, or the north side of this pillar. It seems like the Sahedron itself could perhaps spin somehow. You notice that like the center of it is kind of got like a triangular shape there, and then it looks like it's on kind of like a plate that perhaps can slide around. Although you don't see any obvious way to do so. The key that you guys found earlier, for example, would not work. But maybe there's like something like a sort of a key or something that you're supposed to use in there to like turn the Sahedron, and maybe that is connected to the portcullis in some way.
Oh, you're saying it's a triangular shaped hole that we could use to turn the Sahedron.
Correct. Yeah, and then the
Okay.
star.
Okay.
Yep. And if you'd like, you can roll a knowledge, arcana, or history here as well.
Let's see. I don't have either of those.
Okay.
I have one of those. Oh, never mind.
Well, Hannah's able to tell as well. Maybe even would think, oh, like that makes sense now, because the Sahedron on this is also interestingly upside down compared to what a normal Sahedron, how it would normally be depicted, with the point, because it has an odd number of points, so it has a point straight down, like kind of the center one, rather than like normally the odd number creates one pointing straight up.
But how do we know it's upside down and not just slightly tilted?
I mean, that's fair too, but yeah, it's not. The point is that it's not oriented the correct
Okay.
way.
Just checking. Just checking. Like, is 1 point bigger than? I mean, I'll try with my hand to turn it. Also, I'll detect magic on it first before I try and turn it.
You don't detect any magic.
All right, then I'll try and turn it with my hands. Like, so I'll
Okay.
try and just like, it juts out a little bit, right? Or is it not? Like,
Nope,
The-
it's pretty. It's pretty
flat?
level with the. Yeah, it's pretty flat with the pillar at the. Like this part of
okay,
the
so the
pillar
only thing
there.
I could ever grab it with would be the triangle piece, and my hands aren't going to be able to get enough torque to.
Correct. Like I said, there is. You detect magic though on the wand you guys found in the little
Yeah, I'll identify that
I'm gonna
wand.
identify
tube
that
that
too.
the tapster is hanging on.
I'll
Yeah, I gotta identify it too.
Cannon do it
if we
then.
need to.
All right,
Okay, I'll do it.
everyone, roll the dice.
Everybody try!
Everyone try.
Oh, that's
Actually,
actually
Well, I don't have
Jace got it.
spellcraft, so it's you guys.
It's a 15.
15. Okay. I think Jace got it anyway. Or actually, hold up, maybe not.
I rolled a 5.
And Hannah rolled a 1. Wow, these are some
I'm good.
fantastic rolls.
Really good.
Uh. Yeah, actually, I think you missed it. So it's a wand that does something.
Ah!
Oh no.
Very
I
spooky.
wonder what it does.
I wonder what it does.
So,
I would suggest
Is the
testing it
rule
upon
you're
Jace.
only allowed to try to identify something once per day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there an item
Okay.
in this room? Items, like breakable items, I guess. Targetable items.
The tapestries.
Don't
Other
do it on
than that?
tapestries.
Yeah, see, Jace is volunteering. Use it on Jace.
Is there a table or a chair or a box or a something?
There's a Jace.
There's the portcullis.
Jeez, umbrellas.
There's some benches at the bottom of the where the portcullises were, made out of stone, but benches maybe. I don't know if that's what you're looking for.
Yeah. I'll just take out a pot from my bag. And I'm gonna shake the wand and aim it towards the pot. But I'm gonna make sure nobody's like nearby. So I'm gonna like aim it towards the corner here with my pot in the corner. I'm gonna try to use it.
The unidentified one.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if it's
Yeah,
not
it
like
doesn't
target the
shoot-
pot, then like I target myself, I guess. I don't know. I don't know how that
Okay.
works.
Um.
The wand feels like it's no longer magical.
Well, I
Oh,
guess
yeah.
everyone that has spellcraft can roll a spellcraft check to identify the spell as the spell completion happens.
Huh. I guess I can too.
There you go.
Is it
Good job.
spellcraft or not? Yeah. I guess.
It is spellcraft.
Yay!
Okay. It looks like you guys know that this wand, you have just used it for, so now it has one less charge. But you know what it
Oh.
is? It is a wand of lesser restoration.
Oh shit. Whoops. Okay.
That's pretty
Oh,
good.
cool.
Don't we
Uh,
already have one of those though, or something?
We have a
No,
Cure
we
Light
don't.
Wounds wand.
So, how does that
It has
work,
16
Pluto? 'Cause I thought
charges.
you had to roll a use magic device if you don't have it on your spell list.
She did roll a use magic device.
Oh, she did? Okay, okay.
She rolled a
I didn't see
22 on
that.
it.
I wasn't watching the chat, so
Yeah,
I was
I
just curious.
haphazardly
fair.
used it.
Okay.
I can get rid of
Oh,
the,
yeah,
the
yeah.
unidentified part on there, so yeah.
Okay, great. Give it
So
to
yeah,
someone
Pilbo
who
could
knows
use
how
it
to
without
use
a
it.
UMD check. I think everyone else would need one, but
Yeah, I would.
I only have 1 strength damage, so I'm fine. Why? There's so much like this water, this wand
I mean,
now.
I could
Like
take
I'm
it.
scared.
I kind of like that they're giving you ways to deal with damage because that's
Yeah.
annoying in early game sometimes when you don't have
Oh
ways
yeah,
to
for
deal with this.
sure.
Um,
I'm just like we haven't
How many
fought much
charges
that does
is
that
it?
yet, right?
Has 16 charges left.
Cool. Well, it's not going to help us get through the portcullis, but perhaps if we go the other direction, let's take these tapestries, but then go the other direction and try and find this.
the lesser
So I guess
restoration.
Yep, lesser
Yeah.
restoration.
I'll try and carefully take down the tapestries and roll them up and
Caster
put them
level
in my
3. The caster level for restoration doesn't really matter though, generally. But this is why the DC to identify was a DC 18, so yeah.
Is it 16 or 12 charges?
16 charges.
Okay, good. Alright, I got it.
I got it on my spreadsheet too, about who's holding it.
Okay, so I'll grab the tapestries, roll them up carefully.
Okay.
Crumble in my hands or anything when I
No,
try to roll
they
them up.
are in exceptional condition. It seems like perhaps some sort of like
Can I praise them?
preservative magic was cast on them. Yeah, you can appraise them. I think somebody tried to earlier, but wasn't able to identify the value of them, like specifically. Yeah, you're not sure. You think they might have a lot of value to it. Someone who's particularly interested in Thessalonian history. If anybody has knowledge history as well, or knowledge geography even, I would accept. Can identify like kind of more about information about what they're depicting.
No. Nada.
All right.
Button.
Okay. Well, you think that it looks like it might be depicting, like part of it that it's depicting might be the era span before it crumbled, which is the giant bridge that you guys are kind of in right now, actually. You guys are kind of under it. Like the remains of it at least. And then like the mountain depicting with like the carving of like a face on it. Like you think that you know of like other mountains like that, and you've even heard that there was a kind of a story that's been kind of going around lately about one such mountain being discovered fairly recently by a group of adventurers that fought this powerful wizard from a bygone era.
Okay.
And you think that perhaps the city, like it reminds you of this city that you heard about, and I said this is fairly new knowledge that's been kind of going around in Varissia. That there was a city that you heard of named, and you don't think this is the same one, but perhaps it is another Thessalonian city that similar to the one that was recently found called Shin Shalost or
Aha.
Zin Shalost.
Hmm.
You don't think it's the same one though, because this face does not. It's a woman's face, where there's the one that was carved into the mountain above that city was a different face. It was a man's face.
Okay.
Anyway, what do you guys want to do? I'm gonna continue following the directions up here. Go around this.
Well, if we can't like, we can't move the star thingy, right?
Unless you can find a way to turn it somehow with get something into that triangular opening there.
I'm not much help there.
Yeah.
I can't
mean,
do it
we
with like
didn't
my
find
thieves' tools.
any weapons that have a triangular
No,
handle,
you would
right?
need.
Like the rancier I have or anything.
No. You do think it's possible that you might be able to, like you might be able to get enough leverage to turn it with that, but you're not sure. You think it'd be hard to like get it to lock into place properly.
Okay.
So you think that you probably would have to find, effectively find a key.
Not like the key I found, right?
No.
No, like a triangular key.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's not a
Not-
traditional key. The key you found is actually a traditional key. It's pretty big, but it's yeah, not a traditional key though, or it's not the type of key that would fit into this. So what you're looking for here would not be it's effectively a key, but not actually a key, like in terms of what it looks like.
Okay. To the
I'll grab
north.
something to drink while you guys are thinking about what you want to do.
We go north.
I will head that way and look down this corridor.
Waits around the corner.
All right, I'm back. So you guys went to the north. All right, so this hallway goes. You see a door at the other end of it, and like a room, kind of small room over there, and you see as well that it looks like there's a right turn, as Lord Boz said there would be. So Lord Boz's directions would be to go to the right. However, there does appear to be something over here too.
Yeah, I'll leave it up to Umbrellas.
Alright.
You want to?
And then this hallway extends over and opens up to another room, it looks like.
It's all right.
I'm just gonna check this door anyway.
Okay. Would you like to roll a perception?
Sure.
You don't. Uh, you don't see any traps, or the door does not appear to be locked. You do get a whiff that smells kind of like seawater, though. Kind of a very briny kind of smell.
Oh,
You do realize,
we are still at
upon
sea,
smelling that,
technically.
perhaps, that you guys are actually under sea level. You guys would be. You guys are probably actually under water right now, like below the below surface level at least.
Okay.
Hmm. I'm too curious now. I'm gonna open the door and peek in.
Okay, would you like to roll a stealth check?
Sure. If it's like
Okay.
another way like out of this whole place, that might be good to know.
You kind of crack the door open and you see more of those devils that you killed earlier, that are ones with the spears.
Oh,
But
the
they don't
5
seem
hit
like they
silver
notice you.
ones.
Yeah, it looks like you think you see 3 of them in there.
Oh, okay. Oh, this should be easy. I gesture for the others, just like before.
Okay, does Pillbo want to
Okay.
go to there? Or is he gonna hang out in the other room?
I go.
Okay.
Take those out now.
Okay. If everyone's where
Yeah.
they would like to be when Abrellis opens the door. I'm assuming Abrellis is gonna open the door, or are you gonna have someone else do it?
Yeah, I'm gonna open it. And I
Okay.
stand to the side and I let my companion here, Jace, take the first shot.
Alright, well, I'll stand here then.
They
and
seem to
I'll-
come right for us, so that works for me.
Okay.
And I
All
will
right,
do
everyone
the
can.
acid splash thing.
Yep, go for it.
Or are we doing
Take
surprise
a
round?
surprise. You know, to go ahead and take a surprise shot on him.
We decided this was just what I do.
Okay. You shoot at one of them, and it doesn't look like the arrow affects them at all.
But Pluto, I want to roll my acid splash damage.
Sure, go ahead. It looks like they resisted the acid.
Yay! I'm Jace. I'm helping.
Anybody else have anything they'd
Yeah,
like to
you are.
do during this surprise round? Abrellis opened the door. Jace shot into it. Silric or Pilbo want to do anything? Hannah want to cast a spell?
I don't have anything that would really help right now.
Yeah,
So
I mean, you
no.
can move as well
You
if
can
you want to
ready
like
an
Move
move
closer.
into
I'm
the
fine
room.
standing here.
Okay.
I'll pull out a bottle of liquid ice.
Silric wants to move up next to Jace. So everyone happy about that for their surprise action? Then we can roll initiative.
Alrighty.
2, 4, 6, 8. I love to initiate. Yay!
You like to
yay.
loot.
These are
Combat.
not like the last time.
Make a tune about looting.
Hey, that's been Abrellis this session.
Yeah,
All about that
that's true.
gold.
That's
Oh
it's
God,
gonna
my.
take you on a wild ride of greed.
So
All right,
you
my
guys
roll
haven't
20.
experienced it yet, but Jace is more about like protecting his allies, and so he wants materials to make weapons and armor because he's going to be a craftsman. So that's where
Oh.
he's going to be about wealth to buy armor and weapons and things for crafting.
Cool.
All right, let's try that again. I had to relaunch roll 20 because it froze on me.
Uh-oh.
It's just roll 20 doing roll 20 things.
The
It's like it
virus.
does. Roll 20 got a virus. Oh no.
The coronavirus.
there was like a thing they had. It was sort of like folding at home. If you know what that is, but for finding like antibody proteins or something like that. And somebody's like talking about after like it was in the comments of the article, and someone's like, "Yeah, I tried downloading it, but it kept giving me these ads, and I had to like pay, it wanted me to pay to download another version, and I wouldn't have the ads." And someone's like, "You got a different kind of virus than coronavirus." It's like, oh no, he
What?
he downloaded malware basically instead of
Oh,
oh wow, I forgot to change the round tracker back to 1. All right. Well, good news is you guys all beat their initiatives. So they did not roll very. They have no bonus, so and they rolled low.
Oh, I get to go
Jace,
again.
you need to go again. Go ahead and do that thing you did last turn. It's really good.
I'm gonna do that, but with 3 arrows and lower attack. And I'll use an arcane pull
Sure.
point, which is gonna be my second.
Okay.
I don't know how many I have, but I have more than 2. I think I might have 1 per level. I don't know, but I have at least 2. I'm gonna full round. The one that's like in the middle.
Sure.
This wonderful attack here. I mean, I might have gotten a hit.
Yeah, you shoot 3 arrows at this guy. 2 of them hit, and it's enough to kill it.
The 13 hit. I was right. I think I was right to roll all the things.
Yeah, I mean these things aren't particularly strong.
All
I
right.
think these are like one of the lowest levels of devil possible. Do you do anything else? Swift actions, 5-foot step, anything like that?
The swift action was activating my arcane pool, I believe.
Okay, gotcha. So 5-foot
but
step.
I will 5-foot step back, so I leave room for my melee.
Sure. Okay. All right, Umbrellas.
hmm. I hold my. Oh, hold on. Can they see me right now? Or I'm gonna step back and keep myself hidden, and ready an attack on anything that comes within my reach.
Okay.
With my whatchamacallit, my mithril short sword drawn.
Okay. Silric.
Yeah, I'm also gonna delay.
Okay. Hannah.
Ah,
Or did Pilbo roll?
I'm
I
gonna
don't
do
see him on the
shit.
turn tracker.
Let's do shit.
Oh, oops.
I just realized.
What can I do?
Perfect.
Okay, Pilbo had the same initiative as Hannah anyway, so that's yeah, perfect. So you'll just go after Hannah.
Okay. Well, they're not flying, are they? They're on the ground.
Mm-mm. They are standing on the ground.
Okay. I'm going to keep holding the liquid ice, but I'm going to now pull out a Tanglefoot bag and throw it.
Okay.
At
Which one?
Yeah, I guess I don't. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to 5-foot.
Kind of have covered both of them.
Guess I do, huh?
I guess if you 5-foot, yeah, you could get one pretty clearly at this guy. Although he's a few range increments away.
Not that clear, yeah. I'm just gonna hold it.
Could ready in action.
actually. Yeah, I'm gonna stay here, hold it, ready in action. If anything comes at the door, I'll tangle it.
Okay. Pilbo.
I'm going to ready an action to attack if they come through the door.
Okay. And You can 5-foot step as part of a ready to action.
Yeah, I'll
so
5-foot
keep
step
that.
up.
Well, I'm saying you could do that as part of your ready to action too. So you could
Oh,
say if they
okay,
come up, I
okay.
5-foot step and then attack them too.
Okay. Yeah.
So, because yeah, this thing is going to trigger your ready to action. He'll trigger Hannah's ready to action as well. So at this point, I think is when, or maybe he triggers it right here. But either way, yeah, he's gonna trigger both ready to actions probably. Well, it
Okay.
depends. Does Hannah taking it right here or right here?
When it gets next to Silric.
Okay. So you hit it with the Tanglefoot bag, and then it gets to make a reflex save, I think, right? Or is it just entangled now? And like I don't remember how they
Well,
work.
it's definitely entangled, but it reflexes, see if it's glued to the floor.
Right, reflex.
Gotcha. That's what I thought.
15.
I was like, I'm pretty sure there was like, okay, well, it made the reflex save, but it's still entangled, so it has the entangled condition at least.
Nice.
And then Pilbo can go ahead and take his 5-foot step and his ready to action. Excuse me.
Yep. All right, I'm going to attack it.
Okay. And did Abrellis have a ready to action here as well?
Yes.
Okay, and then I know Silric
I'll
is
stab
delayed,
it.
so I'm gonna assume Silric's gonna just go after this guy
Mhm.
if it's still up. Pilbo hits it. Does Pilbo's weapon do? Is he using a silver weapon?
No.
Okay, so it actually doesn't do anything, but Abrellis actually kills it. Silric, would you like to go now, or would you like to delay until this next one goes?
I'll
Or
delay
ready in
till the
action?
next one.
I guess, yeah, you could ready in action like they've been doing too, and just attack it on its turn when it comes
Alright.
up here.
Already in action.
Because it is going to do that. It moves into the room and triggers a ready to action. And this is using the silver dagger.
Yes.
Okay.
That was Knuckle Axe, right?
Actually, I think your Knuckle Axe is Masterwork, isn't it? So technically, this would be one lower to hit, wouldn't it? We should just make one on there for you. Yeah, we'll just roll the Knuckle Axe and I'll take it one lower though, if you want to do that for the attack. And then you'll have to roll 1d4.
Well,
Ooh.
Well, 19, yes.
That actually
A
is. We'll use
possible.
the second. We'll use that second roll because the 19 is a possible crit. So, and that is
Yeah.
confirmed crit. So actually roll 2d4 plus 4 for your damage here. It's probably gonna be enough to kill this thing. Okay, yeah, it is. All right. So you guys kill
Dang,
all the
even with one.
Nooparibos. Even with the one.
Only one Tanglefoot bag down. Nice.
Yep.
Make more.
All right. And now that the Neripos or whatever how you say this, I'm gonna just put what this is, so their name is in chat because
Ooh, let us butcher
yeah, I'm probably
it.
butchering.
Good plan.
Let you guys butcher it exactly. This is an equal opportunity
Nuparibo.
place here. Nuparibo.
Yeah, you know, it's that one card from
Ribbo?
Yu-Gi-Oh!
I don't know where you're getting the Rebo noise, but I see Ribbo.
I play Noparibo in defense mode.
The Ribbo.
Nuparibo.
Nuparibbo.
Nuparibo.
Nuparibbo.
Yeah. This is interestingly enough from
Nuparibo.
the
Indeed.
unofficial first party publisher Frog God Games Tome of Horrors, because Paizo really likes Tome of Horrors actually, it turns out.
Yeah,
Yeah, they do.
every campaign
like
has
every
a couple
adventure
of
path
shit. Not just one, not just
has
two.
a few things from it.
Yeah.
There's at least 2 that I know of off the top of my head in this book. And this is one of them.
Alright, what's in
So
this
yeah,
room?
this room, the most obvious thing in this room is that there is salt encrusting the floor, that leads kind of in a trail from the south door. And then there's 2 doors in here. Otherwise, this is an empty room, though, other than the Reboribos in there.
But there's an outside somewhere here, maybe.
Perhaps.
I mean, if you smell sea salt, I guess. Do I smell sea salt in there?
Might as well try to find
Yeah.
it.
Well, you see salt. You see sea salt, even,
Oh, okay, yeah,
as it
yeah.
were. You see sea salt in a sea formation.
Sea salt, sea salt.
Okay, keep going.
kinda
I want to
leading
know
from the-
more.
It's leading from here, kind of like that. Sort of a sea formation. But yeah,
I see
it
sea
looks like
salt
the
in the sea
salt.
formation.
Yeah, it's mainly coming from there.
I'll inspect the door.
Okay. This door appears to not be locked or trapped.
I crashed my Firefox, so I'll be right back in game.
No.
Actually, it's Twitch that's doing it, but yeah. Do you mind shift pinging me?
I can do that. Oops.
Yep, I'm checking out this door.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah, it looks nothing suspicious here.
And are
Apart
there
from the
other
salt
things
Alright.
in the
from it.
room? I'll check the.
There's a second door over there.
Oh. Oh.
Wait, there's 2
okay.
doors?
Yeah, kind of to where I'm at.
Yeah. Oh, did I not really? I guess
Oh,
I can
okay.
It's
reveal
not
this a little
super
better over here.
revealed,
There's a
yeah.
second door right
Okay.
here as well. This one
What
does
is this
not
door?
have salt leave me from it.
I'll check this door.
Okay. Yeah, it doesn't appear to be locked or trapped either.
Alright. If that one potentially goes outside, then I'm gonna check this one. I'm gonna stealthily open it.
Alright, you attempt to, and then you realize it's stuck.
Oh. Like locked?
Nope, doesn't appear to be locked, it just appears to be stuck. Like perhaps it's barricaded. From the other side.
I try giving it a nudge.
Okay. And you hear a voice kind of muffled from the other side saying something. But you don't understand what it says.
Okay.
I don't know that anybody does. Maybe Pildo has a bunch of languages. Maybe let me see if he knows it. Wait, where is it at? Is it abilities? Where are the languages at again, guys?
They're like
Confused.
under
Oh,
the
he just
core part of the sheet.
I think he just hasn't filled that out on this sheet. Okay, well. Did anybody speak Infernal? I'll just give that away.
Oh.
No, I have Abyssal. Come on.
Okay. Well, you hear it say something in Infernal, and nobody understands it.
Oh well.
And then you kind of, after though, you do hear what sound kind of like a moaning, maybe almost wailing sound.
Weird.
Almost like someone's crying over there or something. But it's a kind of a very deep, deep sounding crying. Not like a child crying, but like more like maybe like a very large adult child crying, as it were.
Wait, on the other side of that door?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, on the other side of this door up
It's,
here, there's like something kind of like,
Is that
and
like
it says
more
something.
salty smell over here on this door or more on the other
Nope,
door?
only from this door.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this door is the only one that has the salt coming from it.
Okay,
This
then that one
looks
probably
like
goes outside.
something
This
else going
one.
on over here.
Okay. Yeah. A
Hmm.
cry concerns me.
That maybe it doesn't sound. It doesn't
It's not like
sound
a
like
child.
something that, yeah, like that. Whatever it's mumbling sounds similar to kind of what I heard before.
Heard before.
Like when like when you were listening in on those two
Wait,
creatures
is
who
this
said
where we
they're
think the
devils.
imp is? Is the imp in this way, or is
Well, I
it a
mean,
different
these aren't
way?
the exact
The devil
directions that we
sounded
were
the same.
given,
That's what I thought. I thought
but
they were
like the
more right
mumbling
turns.
kind of sounds similar.
It's the same language at least.
Yeah, I don't understand it, but
I mean, I
I
would probably
knock on the
know if
door
I know what the creatures were before that they speak infernal.
politely.
And this is
You hear him yell back, like a voice yell back something, but you don't understand it. And then it goes back
We're
to moan and
not
cry.
we're
it's
not
like we're in
devils and
Charlie
we can't
Brown.
understand you. Quit your muttering.
Bro, if you want to know what's behind the door, just open the door.
I can't. It won't budge.
Uh, make it budge.
You do think you could potentially push it open with a high enough strength check, but you do think it'd be a very difficult one. And maybe you're not sure if you could do it. Someone strong
Yeah,
could
I'm
do
not
it.
exactly strong.
You think Silric could probably do it with enough time, or Jace for that matter. They're both pretty strong.
I have a +1 to strength.
And there's only enough room for like 2 people to really get a good push on it.
I invite them to try. And I say back to the
You want
voice.
to?
I say back to the voice there, if if you need help, we're coming in.
Okay.
Let's try
Well,
it.
gotta find out what's going on. So we'll do count of 3, and then we'll slam into the door.
Okay. I don't
Okay,
know which he
1,
has the higher strength modifier. Must be
2,
the primary.
3, slam. Probably so. Okay, I.
Good
Hey!
job. Yeah, Silric is definitely the higher. Okay, well, Jace is not very effective at this, but Silric kind of looks like eyes it up and just kind of one try just slams this door open, and you see this creature kind of huddling over in the corner here. Looks kind of terrifying, honestly. But it looks like it might
Ew.
be more scared of you than you
It's
are
like
of
a
it.
muddy man.
Yeah. I'll make the token bigger here, and I'll read you a description of it in this room.
It's Clayface.
So yeah, this is a roiling wave of flesh gushing forward amid the fatty surge, wriggle half-formed limbs, and a dripping tumorous face. It's not pretty. The room, as for the room that it's in, yeah, this counts as a medium creature, so it's bigger than any of the other devils you've seen so far, but it's not as big as the abyssal larva was. Is there an actual description on this room? Yeah, and then the walls of this chamber have been coated in dried black ichor. Rudimentary lines and smears within the layers of gunk have been added to create crude examples of simplistic art. And you open the door, it kind of goes, and is kind of falls back to this corner here. I'm going to kind of make them.
Yeah,
map a
from
little bit bigger
Siluric's
here.
display of strength.
Yeah, but it doesn't move to attack you, so I'm not going to roll initiative yet unless you guys want to attack it.
It seems pretty afraid, I guess.
Anyone who has knowledge planes can make that on this thing to identify what it is.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, Jace is pretty sure that this is another type of devil. This is something called a lemure. Very similar to a Nubaribo, but quite a bit more stronger. This one in particular looks like it's actually a lot stronger than a normal lemure. Despite how it's acting, these are actually pretty dangerous. This one in particular is probably pretty dangerous.
I'll warn Silric that this thing's pretty strong and that.
Yeah. It's got the same resistances as the Nubaribos do. So you need a silver or a good aligned weapon. It's resistant to acid and cold, immune to fire. It also has, if you get close to it, it has a powerful stench ability. So you know if you get
Yeah,
too
so
close
it's
to
smelly.
it. Mm-hmm.
Yuck, I can smell it from here.
Yeah, that's
I
not something
say-
that these things normally have. That seems like that's something that this one seems to have in particular.
Silric, perhaps you should shut the door. That's a nasty creature if it doesn't want anything to do with us.
Yep, I'm gonna shut the door.
Alright. Good call.
I'll
Okay.
wave goodbye before we shut the door. I'll wave. Bye. Oh, universal sign of goodbye. Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Hopefully it doesn't think I'm trying to cast a spell on it when I wave at it. Don't give the GM ideas.
Okay, so you guys close the door then?
Yeah.
Yes.
Alright. I'm gonna try this door then. See what's behind this door.
Okay.
I'll
Unlike
open
the
it
last door,
carefully.
this one opens no problem. And there seems to be some stairs in there. And the salty tang of the sea fills the air of this chilly room. Wall carvings showing soldiers marching to war are encrusted with salt, and a descending stair in the center of the room is filled to nearly floor level with seawater. A thin layer of blue energy shimmers across the surface of the water in the stairwell.
So it's like keeping the ocean out. I'll detect magic on it.
It definitely detects this magic.
Be like, there's magic holding the water back. I want to figure out what this is.
Is it the same
Alright,
as
yeah,
last
be my
time?
guess.
You
Go to
think this is
school.
probably abjuration magic of some sort, although the specifics of what the spell is, you don't know. It seems to be as it appears. It holds the water at bay, but you think that any physical, like a person or an object, could pass through the barrier with no problems.
You want to go for a swim?
Not yet.
shot at figuring out what exactly this is. It's obviously keeping the water back, but beyond. And the wall carvings, these are just like carved into the wall. It's not like.
Correct. These aren't like tapestries or anything.
I might take a look at it to see what it's depicting, though. I mean, you said soldiers. Is there anything more than that?
Yeah, you're not. Yeah, it looks like that's all you can really see. Like it looks like they're soldiers marching off to a war or something. You could
Okay.
potentially try to roll a knowledge history if you think you could maybe know
I
more
might.
about the specifics. But you're not sure. You think that you're trying to think like maybe there's like a specific war you can think of that they might be depicting, but nothing's coming to mind.
Yeah, I read a few history books back at Thessalonian things.
Yeah, yeah. And it doesn't seem impressed.
Hmm. Well, I don't feel like going into the water right now.
Yeah, me neither.
What's over here? I'm gonna check this door.
Okay. This door also does not appear to be trapped or locked. In fact,
I'm open it.
it's very slightly ajar. Okay. All right. It's a fancy room. A spiral stair rises from the center of this otherwise empty chamber, leading up to a domed chamber some 20 feet above. And the domed chamber, can't really get a good look on it yet, but you can kind of tell there's stairs kind of leading up, and it almost looks like it's going up into like another chamber up at the top of that. Otherwise, the room is completely empty.
Hmm. Is there like a ceiling if I walk in and look up?
So in this part there is, but you notice you can kind of barely make out the top of the stairs. It looks like you can kind of see the water above, and you can kind of see
Oh
like
geez,
kind of
it's doing this
seaweed
again.
stuff clinging to it. But it seems a little different in there. Like it almost looks like there's perhaps like a chamber up there.
Like up in the water?
No, like it looks like the stairs lead up to a dry area, and that the water starts past where the stairs lead up to.
Oh.
It looks like there's basically like almost like an at least what now would be an underwater observatory.
Interesting. I tell the others.
What do you tell
Someone was having a lot of fun with water.
Yeah. That Jace or Hannah would recognize probably when they look in there that they're basically seeing the very top of it, and around the outside of this upper chamber are what look to be walls of force, creating effectively a window that lets you look out to the water.
Well, we should go check it out. It'll look cool.
I'm gonna check it first for traps if we're going up. I'll do that I'll start going up and checking for traps.
I kind of like that they have this here, because someone could totally derail the campaign if they were like, I dispel the wall of force.
Then it floods
like,
the
oh
whole
shit.
place.
The whole dungeon's flooded now.
I mean, that's where as a GM you're like, oh, well, that activates this trigger that causes this other wall of force to open or something. Happen.
Nah, I'd probably just let it happen. I'm a glutton for punishment like that, I guess.
Well,
Well,
it's one of
because
those
you'd have
things
to
where
put
it's
in a
like-
lot of effort for that to be happening at this level. So,
Mhm.
like,
Yeah.
yay, if you wanted to.
If the
Yeah.
PCs go to that
mean, I've been wanting to make a
length
dispelling
to make it
character.
happen, then just let it happen.
So,
I mean, you could continue this probably without, like, and then eventually you get to the point where you'd be able to just, even if it's flooded, you'd be able to come back and walk around with, like, water breathing or something. And maybe that
Right.
even just make it easier. Like, everything else you just dead. I just
Everything's
walk
dead.
in and grab the MacGuffin.
Noted, things can't breathe underwater in here. GM said so.
Of course, then I get to put like sea monsters in here, so repopulate the dungeon. So that could be fun too. I never get to use those creatures. It's where the old adage "never get on the boat" comes from. GM's got this book, and like half the shit in there is a bunch of aquatic stuff that they never get to use.
Well, that's why you gotta bring the aquatic stuff to the PCs.
Yes. Or make them get on a boat. Anyway, yeah. So
You make the boat get on them.
make a walking boat. All right. So you guys go up to look at the observatory. You said.
yeah, that
Looking for
sounds
traps
cool.
along
I'm
the
going
way.
up looking for traps.
Okay. Like to roll a perception.
Yeah, I'll do that.
I'll let my scouters scout. But I'm very impatient about it.
Alright. You don't think you see any traps along the way, and eventually make it up to there. And yeah, like I said, there's kind of a there's like kind of a window up above and 3 windows kind of looking out to the sides. And yeah, you can kind of see into the ocean around you, around this complex, kind of looking out to the. Now most of the windows are pointed out, like there's kind of one up the above you, and then the rest of them are kind of pointing out to the east, like a little bit to the northeast, south to the southeast, and straight east. The biggest one is kind of the central one, pointing directly east.
Okay.
So, do you guys spend any time kind of looking out through the windows, looking around?
I guess so. I'll look around.
Okay.
See if I find anything
Sure.
weird swimming out there.
You're in a
Roll another
lighthouse?
perception check.
Or lookout?
We're
It's
kind
an
of almost in a
observatory.
lighthouse.
It's like
We're
it's like
in
an
an
aquarium.
underground lighthouse.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
you've ever been in an aquarium where they have like one of those little domes where there's just like water all around you. Have you
Oh,
ever been in one
neat.
of those
Okay.
before?
Yeah, yeah.
They have
yeah.
one in the Seattle aquarium actually.
Mhm.
It's kind of like that.
I've actually been to that one, but
so,
I've been
like-
to San Diego, so which is bigger.
Yeah, they have a bigger aquarium.
Yeah.
Theirs is nicer.
Mhm.
Alright, Abrellis is kind of looking around, and Abrellis, you notice that kind of in the southern window, you actually see like a shipwreck out there. Out in
Ooh,
the
Oh,
seafloor.
snap.
swim out to it.
Yeah. But yeah, and you do see, you see some fish kind of swimming by. Nothing too crazy though, in terms of like the wildlife out there. And you can kind of you think you can almost kind of make out where those stairs, since you know about them there, this where the stairs kind of would exit out down to. On the other
Wait,
side of that
which ones?
weird force field. The stairs in back
These
in the room
things?
behind you. Yeah, those stairs lead. Like I said, there's a barrier, a shimmering barrier of energy in here,
Right.
kind of keeping the water. So you think that if you walk down those stairs, which are underwater, they lead out to this area out here. Like they lead out
To the boat?
into the. Perhaps, yeah. You could actually walk out to the boat. You think?
Oh man,
where it
like,
sunk.
Do it, do it. No, I
this
don't know.
has like no, this has like PC bait written all over it.
I know, right? This is like This is the other way you get to use your aquatic monsters. Is you just present an absurd situation that makes the PCs go, man, I really want to go in the water.
uh, except we don't.
You also
There's
notice.
a boat.
Yeah,
You
there's a
also, I
boat.
mean,
There's
the other thing
always been a
too is
boat. There
it
always
is
will be a
underwater,
boat.
which I don't know if you guys have a good way to deal with. However, you do notice there's a couple scrolls sitting right underneath the central window as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's like a little shelf underneath the central window, and it's got a couple scrolls sitting on it.
What else you say?
Well, I hand it to the magical people to look at.
I have read
You guys have read magic?
Yes.
You can tell that these are scrolls of water breathing.
How many?
There are two
Oh
of them.
Stop
jeez.
baiting us. How many? One, two,
But only
four,
two.
five. Oh, okay. It's not bait.
Mhm.
It's just coincidence.
I mean,
You do think that these are here for a reason. I mean, this
Here.
I think
probably
it might be.
has been. You think this has probably been underwater? Was it an underwater? Like even during the times of Thassalon, you think this was underwater, probably. So perhaps they use this to go out if they they would observe the underwater area here. Perhaps. I mean, does anybody have knowledge geography that they can roll here?
Mm. Did Noble have anything to do
I
with it?
don't.
Does it need to be trained?
Yes.
Yes.
In this case,
All knowledges are trained.
unless
not
it's
if it's
below a
basic?
DC 10. So if it's like basic knowledge, but no, this is not a basic knowledge. So this is something that's a little more obscure. I guess you could roll a knowledge history as well. I would take that as. I'll take that as
Oh.
at a higher DC. Sort of related. Okay.
Don't get.
Yeah. Jace would know that during the times of Thassalon, this probably wasn't a like the ocean didn't reach this point. The geography changed quite a bit during the catastrophic events of Earthfall. But this does seem like it was intentionally designed how it is, so perhaps there was a lake or something here at the time.
All right. So how do the water breathing scrolls work? I asked the magical people.
Well, you breathe
Well,
underwater.
here's what I can tell. Yep, the two scrolls might actually be enough for you guys because the way that these work is these are caster level 5. They are arcane. These are wizard sorcerer scrolls. And they ask for 2 hours per level, so this is going to be for 10 hours, divided up amongst all creatures that you touch when you cast a spell. So theoretically, you could cast them and get 2 hours of water breathing on everybody with one scroll.
So we could get all of
However-
us with one scroll
Correct. For 2 hours.
for 2
It would
hours.
do nothing. It would do
That
nothing to help
seems like
you.
long enough to explore this.
Yeah, it would do nothing to
Do
help
we
you
want
actually like
to?
move around underwater effectively,
It's a lot
such
of
as being able to swim and
Pressure.
fight
I'm
effectively
very
under there.
curious. I kind of want to, if we have a way to breathe underwater.
Can
I
we
need to
like
find out
save
what
this for
they're
last
baiting me with.
resort? Maybe like last on the list. We'll come back to it. Maybe.
There has to be something good in there.
I just
Maybe.
can we all swim? How deep are we? What kind of pressure are we talking about? Sure, we can breathe, but like, I don't know.
I can swim. Haven't you guys ever swam before?
Uh, I don't know. Let me look.
Don't tell me you guys have grown up in Magnamar without having learned to swim.
I mean, I was in the pool once or twice when I was a kid, but I don't swim regularly. Have you seen those waters?
You ever get thrown out into the great span?
No, have you?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Hannah's like horrified at that, huh? Oh no.
Yeah, you see the gangs out here, they won't take you if you can't swim after being thrown into the gutter.
I'll keep that in mind if I ever choose to join a gang.
Well, having done it, I wouldn't recommend it.
Oh. As I suspected.
Yeah, too much pain, not enough profit.
Pain.
I got my lips busted open a couple times. But I'm still pretty.
If you say so.
I do.
She just leaves it at that.
These are looks that money can't buy. Alright, well, either we do this or we don't do this.
As we come back, once we know more, I would hate to get blindsided
How's
by
everybody else feel?
things.
Explore the watery thing.
Explore this shipwreck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's, perfectly normal and safe side optional content. These are never deadlier than anything else in the
I mean, if they're giving us
rest
water
of the
breathing
book.
scrolls, that's like drowning is a lot of the danger.
Getting
Yeah.
in a fight between here and that shipwreck, or even within the shipwreck, is
Yep,
like
that's the
what
other
we
thing.
don't want.
'Cause you could end up fighting an aquatic creature in there that is real jerk.
Real jerk, like a grappling kind of jerk. Or a sucking kind of jerk. Or a
Well, I mean, I
zapping
pull out my
jerk, even.
I pull out my short sword and rapier. I mean, both these weapons I can use to pierce things, technically.
Well, I can't. I'm so happy for you.
And it's easier to kind of, like, go with a poking motion underwater.
Uh,
Might have trouble with a slashing or blunt weapon.
and magic. uh, Probably should get some spells that work underwater now that I think about it.
Alright, well. I can't use the scrolls, so do all the other magic people share the same feelings and sentiment as Hannah here?
I'm okay with swimming. Sounds like fun.
You doing your bow is not going to be very good underwater.
Yeah.
I do know that, but I have a mace.
Isn't that
Yeah,
great
that's
underwater either.
also not going to be that much better, but
Yeah.
it'll be a little better than your bow.
Like,
I'll
we're
admit
ill
that.
equipped. Maybe we can find
Yeah,
more
I mean,
too equipped. I
I
don't
have
know.
that rank seer.
Yeah,
Ah.
also not terribly great. Piercing weapons are what you're looking for, and like tridents and spears.
I have arrows.
I guess if you really wanted, there are 3 spears back in here that.
Oh, see, there we go.
That the
No,
We have
Nabrovas had.
spears.
Yeah, I got left behind. They're just regular
I
spears.
suppose so.
They're not masterwork, but they are medium-sized spears. Just simple
All right,
piercing
fine.
weapons.
We'll not go yet.
All right, fine.
We'll do something else. Let's find the creature.
I'll move back out here then. So we gotta go down
Oh,
here.
we don't want to take these stairs.
They go
No, the stairs are
underwater.
where they. Yeah,
The
that's
stairs
the
lead
water.
out to the water. That's what I'm saying. So you can
To
actually
the
even see
water,
that. There's
mhm.
like a force field. Yeah, there's like a force field
Right, okay.
across the top of the stairwell,
Okay.
and
That
the
was
entire
where that
stairwell
was.
is submerged underwater.
Okay. And we didn't conclude
where all the
what's on
salt's
this
coming in
door
from,
over
too.
here? On the right?
There was
That's where the crying,
the crying
flesh
devil was.
thingy.
Mhm.
Isn't that the devil they want us to take care of?
Nope.
No,
different
devil.
he described something like an imp,
Like
like
an
with
imp,
wings and a
right.
tail.
Yep. All right, so this room here.
This place is
What
strange.
the hell is this?
Wasn't this place
Alright.
supposed to be empty?
So. Alright, hold up a minute. This chamber is bare, save for a statue depicting a regal-looking woman wielding a ranseur again. She stands in a battle-ready pose with the tip of the ranseur aimed at the northern entrance to the room. And as you walk into the room,
Uh-oh, what's gonna happen?
Statue comes to life.
no, well, there's smoke starts coming from the tip of the ranseur.
Hmm.
Do you do anything?
Do I think this is a trap?
You're not sure.
I'm not sure.
Wrong bouton. You think maybe. It might be.
Maybe?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Do you do anything?
Do I think I know what kind of trap it is?
Let's see. Well, you rolled a, was that 27 for your, like, first search for traps? Oh, no, that was previously.
Well, that
yeah.
was for previously. Should I
Yeah.
roll it again? Well, blam.
Okay, yeah,
Ooh.
you definitely think this is a trap, and you think that you probably need to get out of there right now, and you need everyone else to get out of there.
Okay, I throw myself, like, I jump like 30 feet over
And
this
say,
way.
get back.
Yeah, and I tell everybody, get down.
Okay, does everyone follow Abrellis' lead and
Yeah?
move back?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm gonna just move you guys all back over here because
It explodes.
Because things
As
are
soon
going
as-
to happen.
like a couple seconds after that, a big fireball explodes at the tip of where that statue was pointing.
Boom.
But since everyone moved away from it, none of the fire hits any of you.
Yay!
Phew. Alright. I'm gonna go back in and can I try and disable this trap?
Sure. You think it's a magical trap, but you have magic trap disabling.
Yep, I am a rogue with trap.
And you do think this trap
Whatchamacallit.
will reset itself after perhaps a minute or two. But for now, it's safe. And go ahead and roll your disable device. Yep, you think you have disabled it. Should no
Sweet.
longer go off. You think that it probably used to go off immediately when you would walk into the room if you didn't have some
Oh.
way to bypass it. But because it's so old and whatnot, it's kind of defective now.
Sweet. Does this statue have a removable ransour as well?
Nope, the Ransuer is actually part of the statue on this one.
Okay. Alright, well I tell the others that it's safe. It's safer now.
Then back
I'll go over here.
in.
Yep.
Look around.
Okay.
This room. I detect magic also. I'm just curious what just was going
Yep.
on.
You
It's
don't
all charred.
you don't detect any more magic other than on the statue, which is kind of the aura there. It looks like it's kind of just the lingering effect of the aura from the
Uh-huh.
trap that Debrellis just disabled.
Yeah. Okay.
But other than that, nothing. In this hallway, you can see turns. It looks like there's a kind of a bigger opening over here.
Hmm. I'll try and get a careful, stealthy look into this room.
Oh. So this room. A line of pillars run down the center of this hall, between which lie the ruined remains of what was once an immense magical laboratory. Crumbled tables, broken stone urns, rusted cauldrons, and ancient fragments of broken glass lie scattered throughout.
Ew, glass
Um,
everywhere.
You probably don't get a too good a look on this yet, but the northern wall depicts a vast mural of armies of deformed monsters and demons gathering on the shores of a mountainous island. Above, a woman's face has been carved into the mountaintop, sort of like the tapestries, and an immense bridge arches out from out yeah arches out from just below this woman's face. Below the mountain, at the end of a side view of the tangled network of caverns, lies a vast underground vault in which an immense monstrosity of tentacles surrounds a central fanged mouth. Within the mouth glares an angry red eye.
Hmm. Seems odd.
And if you have a knowledge geography, which I think nobody has, you could potentially recognize a little bit more on this.
I don't.
And if you have knowledge planes or knowledge religion, you can also identify something else about this mural. Potentially. Only one or the other, though. Can't double dip on this.
I
Knowledge planes or
don't
knowledge
have
religion.
knowledge, planes, or religion. And if it's safe, I'll wave my allies over here to see
It
if they
appears
want
to
to
be.
check things out with me. I'll avoid any glass. I guess not. Nobody.
Nobody has the knowledge, religion, or planes, I guess.
Oh.
I don't
Oh,
have it.
sorry. I do. I'm just really tired. I'm like
Oh.
falling. Like it's not like I just have not slept enough this week.
Yep. Nobody's hit the DC on this. It's a pretty hard check.
I mean, I have 9 mod. It's just not. I didn't roll well enough.
Yeah, it's also a very difficult check to make on this in this case. However, if you're interested in it, you can always come back and look into it more. But yeah, main things, like I said, you're not really able to tell where exactly this, like what the location it's depicting is. It seems sort of similar, but it doesn't depict the same. Like you don't have the city that it has in there, but like the mountain with the woman's face on it, that part looks pretty similar. And like the bridge arching out from just below, like seems. This one maybe looks like it's a different bridge though. The thing that's depicted there being below the mountain, the immense monstrosity of tentacles surrounded by a central fanged mouth with the mouth glaring, the single angry red eye, like the eye of Sauron, basically. You're not really like you think that's depicting something specific, like a being of some sort, but you're not able to tell like who that is. Like something, it's something, but like specific, but you're not sure like, specifically. And then yeah, the rest of this room is a broken laboratory. There's like just broken tables, glass, urns. This place is a mess. On the other side, there are some stairs leading into another hallway, and you think you see a door as well. And this would be something you guys would not see from where your tokens currently are, but I'm assuming you guys will kind of make your way through the room. Otherwise, there's nothing in here that like poses any direct danger to you.
All right. Well, this is a big, big hall, but I'm still gonna check for traps along the way. And if
Yep.
I don't find
you-
any, what do I see up here?
Yep. And you think if you followed Lord Boz's directions, you would continue down the hallway.
But there's this other
And
door here.
there is that other door there. So this hallway just continues to lead. Let's see, this would be upstairs, I think. Yeah, it looks like these stairs go up.
All right. And a corner. I'll peer around the corner.
Okay, you see a door.
All right. And what over here?
Okay, is everyone else going with?
I don't know. He's going really far. Did we not care about this door down here?
I guess not.
Oh, yeah, I guess not.
We're supposed to make right turns. That's what I
This
heard.
is the right turn. Yep.
I'm confused.
Because yeah, as you kind of are walking up here, you encounter something.
Oh, yeah? All right.
It encounters you,
What do we
and
find?
everyone can roll
Yay, we
initiative.
found
It looks
it.
similar
It's like that
to.
one thing.
It looks very similar to the thing that was crying, but this one looks like it is not crying. And yep, like I said, everyone can. Let me clear up. Do I need to clear it out, or
Hey.
can I just have you guys roll? Looks like I can just have you guys roll. Yeah, go ahead and everyone roll initiative.
Are these ones not whimpering? I can't see them, but I guess then.
These ones are not. These ones look like they're going to attack you.
Okay.
But they don't look. They look smaller and less imposing than the other one. Well, the other one looks like it was, you know, I guess didn't they look in some ways look more imposing, but they look smaller. They don't look as
Oh.
dangerous as the other one in terms of their
Oh.
like size and strength.
Maybe that's why the other one got locked up. He was like the. What was that guy's name? I can't even remember. Anyways, there was a man who was too big. He was so sweet, but he was too strong and too big that he would accidentally kill like puppies and bunny rabbits and stuff just
Oh no!
by petting them.
I was gonna say it sounds like Clifford the big red dog, but then Clifford, it got darker.
It did get dark.
Clifford the big red
It
stab
came
wound.
to the point where one of the guys had to like go and shoot the fellow. He took him out to the back and started telling him sweet stories and told him to turn around and then shot him
Oh my
because
god.
he was a danger to everything.
What is this?
I'll
Jeez.
go look up the movie. It's a really good
It's that
movie
dark.
actually. Of Mice
Oh,
and
it's a
Men,
movie?
or
Oh,
was that
okay.
it?
Oh, jeez. Okay.
I think that was it. Let me double check.
All right, man. You guys are killing on the initiative this session.
Yeah,
So,
Of Mice
Jace,
and Men. It's also a book. Okay.
go ahead.
Yeah, that's the famous book.
Yeah. I've definitely heard of it. I didn't know that's what it was about. Jeez.
Yeah.
Crazy.
He's just not very smart and very strong. Oh.
Yeah.
But Lenny,
All right, so Jace.
Lenny, is that his
Jace,
name?
what you
or
do?
something?
the character, yeah, Lenny, and
Yeah.
George.
George, yeah, George.
They're like going from like place to place, and long
Can I
story
tend
short,
to the rabbit,
Lenny
George?
accidentally kills a pretty girl, and then George kills Lenny.
Spoiler alert.
You should have read this in high school.
Yeah, you should have read this by
I
now.
did.
I don't think I did read it in high school. I don't think it was.
I'm pretty
Lenny
sure it was
just wanted to
required
tend
reading
to the
for
rabbits,
our
man.
like state.
I mean, the
don't
movie's
think it
pretty
was
accurate to the book, so you could just watch that. But yeah.
All right, so
Are we
Jace, what was your
fighting
question?
yet? Am I going?
Yes, it's your turn. I've
Okay.
said that like 3 times.
Well, we were talking about Of Mice and Men, so I didn't.
I
Yeah,
know.
man.
That's fair. That's fair.
If I 5 foot up here, can I see them or not? Probably not. No, I can't. Okay.
No.
So all I know is Bro said there's bad guys up there. I'm gonna delay my initiative until I see a bad guy or someone else does something. I'll let
Okay,
you know.
delay until you say otherwise. Umbrellas.
Alright, well, they don't. I've got the jump on them. I'm gonna move and have my mithril short sword pulled out as I move, and I'm gonna stab at this one.
Okay.
I'll take the initiative and try to get a sneak attack off. Ooh, nice.
Okay, that'll hit, but it's not enough to take it out in one shot. It is still up. But it looks really badly hurt.
Nice.
Tim, you guys are one
take
shot
my-
and
Alright,
everything.
Jace,
I don't
you're
have
up.
to do anything. I like it.
Jace, taking your
Yeah.
turn now then, you said?
Yeah, low
since
level,
I-
just let the melee do all the work for
Yeah,
you.
just it's cool.
I saw Umbrellas go in, so I better go in.
Nobody knows I can't do anything because I've had to do anything.
And then I'm gonna just spell strike attack this one that is
Yeah, that's how
next
you
to
play Wizard.
Umbrellas.
Or Arcanist in this case.
Yeah.
Let's see some
And
big
go
damage
off,
rolls.
Hopefully.
Okay. It resists some of your damage, but it's enough to finish it off.
Yay.
Pilbo.
Well, okay. I can't get in range to attack it, so I'm just gonna move or to this corner.
And then ready.
Yeah.
That might have been. Was that a single move?
Double move.
Double move. Okay,
Oh.
so yeah, it just moves up then. Okay, Hannah.
Uh, what's going on, guys? Still can't quite see it. Finish my movement here, 30 feet. What is it? Oh, another one of those things. I keep trying to target it like Fantasy Grounds. uh, I did it twice. I'm like, why is it not selecting?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Oof. I detect magic in that direction. Obviously, I detect magic because people in front of me. But
You detect magic coming from Pilbo. I guess you don't know where it's detecting from, but you
Not
detect
yet.
magic.
Yeah,
There
I'm
is indeed
detecting
magic.
magic in that area. That's what I do
Yeah.
for this round.
All right. Selric.
I'll move up.
Okay, so let's see here. Yep, that's one move action.
Can I double move or no?
You can double move if you'd like, yeah. You won't be able to do an attack, but you can move up next to it if you'd like. You could move up around it and to the other side of it even and make it so Abrellis could flank it, I suppose. That might be... You'll have to tank it for one round, though.
Mm, I'll just stay here.
Okay. It's gonna take its turn then. It's gonna move up and attempt to attack Pilbo. It's gonna get some partial cover from being around this corner. I'll just apply that as a penalty to its attack, actually. So don't worry about the cover here. So just versus your normal AC, Pilbo. 17 and an 11. Do either of those hit your AC? Just regular AC.
I
No.
think Pilbo's too, tanky for that.
I'm pretty sure those both miss. Yeah. Okay.
That misses.
That's its turn. It misses with two attacks with its kind of weird, goopy, fleshy claws. And we're now in round 2. Abrellis.
Alright, I'm gonna move around the long way here into a flank.
Yep. Seems good.
And then I'm going to attack it.
Okay. And you do get your flank bonus on this thing.
Yep, with my flank.
Okay. And that's 12 damage, so that actually is enough to just one-shot this thing, and we're out of combat again.
Wow.
Man, I'm a lot better at killing devils than I thought I would.
Having silver weapons helps a lot. Alright, so you can see, so let's see, let's read the description of this room too, because
I say, we're killing that nasty looking Lord Baz, whether he gives me the imp or not.
I'm feeling confident now, huh?
Be Pluto or not?
What was that?
Tell XP.
Oh yeah, I'll toll it all at the end this time.
Okay.
This
thought you
room
said
appears
something
to
that said
once... This room also appears to have once been an ancient alchemical laboratory, but most of the equipment here has been smashed.
Well,
If you
hey,
have
maybe you'll
been
find
smashed.
something
craft...
you like.
Yep, knowledge, arcana, or craft alchemy check here as well can be made to tell a little bit more. Perhaps about what this laboratory was used for.
Oh, isn't that Hannah? Hannah
Hannah
has
has
know
alchemy,
more.
yeah.
one of those?
Yeah.
She has both, I think. She has craft alchemy
Yeah.
and knowledge arcana.
She might know both.
You want to check?
I look at Hannah. I say, "Look at all
Hmm.
this like stuff around here. Looks like
It's all broken.
like a brewery
but-
place or something.
Hmm.
Is there a brewery
Like
where
one
you
of them,
get beer?
What you fancy lads call them this laboratory.
So Hannah
Oh,
can tell
wow.
that this laboratory, even though like the equipment is all kind of is in terrible disrepair, you can kind of tell what this would have been used for. Like this lab looks like it was particularly focused on creating potions and mutagens that they were used to enhance like the physical body in strange ways.
These are mutagens. They're like drugs. Just without
Oh, like
the
drugs.
high. Like
So they're like steroids.
steroids. Yeah, you ever heard of those?
Yep, dangerous.
Indeed.
Anything valuable?
These are valuable.
I'll help her look through it.
As far as you can tell, this stuff has been so badly
Are there any bottles? Like any
poorly
glass
maintained that
left?
yeah, like you. What's that?
Was there any bottles? Any glass or something left?
That's about all you could find. Maybe is you could find like a little area that has like some still intact, empty. But yeah, nothing usable like in terms of potions or anything.
Uh-huh.
There is, like I said, though, a door leading in right over here, leads out to the west, and then the hallway continues down as well.
Hmm. Alright, so go around and there's this door.
Mhm.
I'll check this door.
And you know from Lord Boz's directions that you're probably in
This is
that
the place?
imp's. You're in that imp's territory. Like it's kind of as soon as you got into this lab, you basically abandoned it.
Alright.
So this door seems, again, not locked or trapped.
Alright, I'll stealthily open it.
You try, but it's actually stuck. The door does not open.
Oh, dang. Well, if only I had someone who's good at breaking down doors. Or busting them open.
Not it.
So, Rick.
One of you guys want to try and open this door?
Does Jace try to help again?
Yeah, I'll try.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So not as easily this time, but after kind of struggling with the door a little bit, like it takes you a few tries this time, but you guys are able to get it open after a little bit more effort
There
than
you
the
go,
last
teamwork.
door. And reveal inside this room that looks like it hasn't been touched in quite some time. This room is piled high with crumbling remnants of crates, barrels, urns, and casks of all sizes and descriptions. So it looks like a storage room, basically.
Storage room. Hmm. Alright.
Okay, I'll detect
I'll
magic
carefully
around
check
the
it.
room.
Okay. Most of this looks like it's mostly junk that's kind of decayed, but there is something that stands out as being particularly unusual and in particularly It looks like it's in really good condition. You see kind of this strange looking thing that's got like it almost looks like a construct perhaps. It's got like multiple legs and arms, like 3 legs and 4 arms. But it doesn't look like it's doing anything. It looks like it's inert.
Huh. I I check it. I don't know if I'll examine it. I don't think knowledge engineering or local will tell me anything about it though.
Knowledge engineering might work.
Alright, I'll roll it.
Pretty good.
Yeah, you think that this is oh, he said dungeoneering. I thought I heard engineering.
No, it's engineering.
Let me see if that. Yeah, dungeoneering might not actually be very helpful here. Constructs are usually arcana.
I asked the magic people, what do you know about this thing?
What is this thing?
Um,
Well, I will. I'll give you this much. One thing that stands out to you is it has kind of a kind of like a emblem on its chest, kind of, and it looks like it's made out of the same material as that key you found.
Oh. Well, that's quite a coincidence.
Sounds valuable. You should take it.
You
Hold
do also
on.
find some other stuff in this room as well. You find a most of the stuff is like junk, like I said, but you do find a some very nice looking smith tools.
Ooh.
Jace would probably recognize what they are immediately because he's worked with smithing. But this is, and they're made out of mithril.
Oh
Nice.
wow, they're really nice.
So these are mithril masterwork smith tools.
Yeah, I'll grab those right up.
You also find a kind of this really nice looking brass crank with a pearl inlaid handle, and having already been to
Has
where
a
like it
triangle
has this kind of a triangle
thing.
shape, yeah, and you kind of immediately are like, this looks like the piece that's supposed to go into that pillar to open the portcullis. So you have that as
But
well.
it has a pearl. Is it valuable?
Probably.
If you can roll an appraise, you're not sure. Maybe.
I'm pretty sure it's valuable.
Okay.
You
But
think
I'll
the
fish out that key and I look at this thing and the key,
uh-huh.
and it seems to be made of the same metal.
Yes.
That can't be a coincidence. I'm gonna look for somewhere to put the key into it.
Okay. Yeah. You do so. You kind of walk around it a little bit, maybe move it, and you find a spot on the what you think is the back of it that looks like the key would go into.
Oh, all right. I put the key in and I turn it.
And you turn it. Okay. And I'll move you up next to where it is. Uh, you turn it, and it kind of starts moving. Like it stands up, and it turns its weird little head over and looks at you. I'm gonna make the token bigger and kind of see what this thing looks like.
Sweet. I'm down with this.
Yeah. So and it's just looking at you now. It doesn't say anything. Just looks at you.
What do you want to do with it?
I put my hand forward to shake one of its hands.
It just looks at your hand and looks at you.
I look at the others and I say, I don't know what it's doing. I think it's working though. Magic people, how do you work these things?
I don't know.
That's
You-
not
You
magic.
just
That's
stuck the key in and turned it?
something else.
Is it? It's not magical, right?
It does not detect as magic. No.
Okay, that's what I thought. So it's mechanical. It's not magical. So don't
If you
ask
roll
me.
you could roll knowledge arcana on it still, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
It is constructed using magic, but it does not actually have magic on it still. So you can tell this is a
Kind of
construct.
clockwork something.
Yeah, it's like a clockwork construct. So yeah, it only it needs to have you have to use the key basically to activate it, and it'll work for quite a while, with a single turn on it. But that's it's in there as kind of a control mechanism, so that if you don't wind it, it'll just deactivate again.
I point that out. If it was magical, you wouldn't have to
And
wind it all the time.
Oh, well, I mean, I'll put the key back
So
in
it's
my
not
bag.
it's not a particularly powerful thing, but and from kind of looking at it, you think that it looks like it has some nets that it's equipped with, and it can launch a net at something to entangle it.
Oh, nice.
They also, it looks like it has a way to repair itself.
That's good.
And a lot of times they're set up to basically follow the directions or just guard whoever activates it with the key. So it's possible that by activating it, it's now just going to guard Umbrellas. That's what you think. Since she's the one that activated it.
Jace, punch me.
No. That does not.
I need you to test this for science.
For
I'll pass.
science, yo.
Jace is
Pilbo,
like, no.
punch me.
Why?
I need to see if this thing will protect me.
All right. Don't come crying to me. You get hurt.
I think you're the one that's gonna be crying, Pilbo.
Guys, Pilbo tries to punch you.
I don't try to avoid the hit. It probably hits
Okay.
my leather.
Okay. And yeah, the golem moves over to try to attack it. Do you try to stop it?
Yeah, I hold my hand in front of the automaton.
Okay. It stops. But yeah, you
All
definitely
right,
think it was
sweet.
coming up to attack Pilbo.
Thank you, Pilbo. What if I tell it to defend other people? I tell it to defend Jace.
Yeah, it moves over.
All right, Pilbo, attack Jace, just to see if this works.
What? No, don't attack me.
I said, I think you're taking this a little too far.
You're right, I might be. It's like It's like having a really big toy. I'm just really excited. Alright, I tell it to follow me, and I'll walk out of the room with it if it follows me.
Okay. Yeah, it will.
Holy shit, guys.
How much later you guys want to go? Is it's a good spot for people to call it a night here?
Yeah,
After,
I'm
Yeah, maybe
really
some people are
tired.
tapping out.
recruiting
Like-
a robot buddy.
Yeah.
I mean,
This is
I'm
my
glad you
bronze
guys.
sentinel.
I'm glad that you guys got this. I think this robot buddy is actually way more useful than the bronze sentinel too.
Ludo
Oh,
don't
that's
like the
good.
sentinel.
I hate that stupid sentinel. God damn it. Don't even get me started on that sentinel. No, this thing is. I mean, it's especially at this level. I mean, later on, it's not going to get stronger, so it's going to be pretty useless later on for
Well, I can
actual
upgrade, or
combat.
someone can upgrade it. Maybe I can.
Maybe. But yeah, for like this stage, I'm kind of glad you guys got it because it's cool. It's like a cool little thing that you can get.
Yeah, it is. And we have the crank to the portcullis, I guess, too.
Yep. So let me tally some experience for you guys. I pull up my calculator app. Where's that other thing in there? It's a decent chunk of it here. And then one other thing that I need to add experience for here. Oh, two actually. I almost forgot. That trap is actually worth experience too. Okay. So if you guys were level 1, you get enough experience to get to level 2. Total experience you guys get for this session is
2,000?
1,350.
Dang. That's a lot.
Mm-hmm. You guys killed a lot of new Baribos. And there was a trap. And
Yep. Alright, pretty good.
fought a couple of those Lemures.
Did we find any
Right.
money while I was gone?
No.
No,
We found
I think
the key though is worth money, but we would keep
think-
it now.
Right,
Well,
I
yeah,
heard
that was
the
after you got here, though.
items.
I don't think you guys. Well, you got here. Yeah, they hadn't found any items before you got here. They had just seen those fire elementals, and which I might give you guys experience for the fire elementals, but I haven't yet because you guys might still decide to go fight them. But,
Oh, we might go back.
yeah, I mean, you guys are actually really close to the fire elementals anyway.
Oh,
this
if you go up,
hall-
it connects. Yeah.
This hallway is pretty clearly going to that same spot. So you guys might decide to be like, ah, fuck it, we're going through the fire elementals. But if you guys don't, I'll probably just give you the experience for it for having avoided them. Because as far as I'm concerned, avoiding the fight is just the same as actually taking the fight. Most of the time, at least. For avoiding and getting to the other side of, like, I mean, you guys are pretty much already, you basically have avoided that fight if you guys clear out everything over on the other side of it without having to actually pass through the room. So that's as good as defeating them.
They seem
But-
pretty odd and out of place here.
They do. Yeah, there is like uh like all Paizo Adventure Pass, there is a reason that they're there, even if it may be somewhat contrived. This one I don't think is too bad.
Not as bad as Ghost
There's a
Painter,
little bit of
Banshee
contrivance.
Painter.
Oh
No,
my
I
god,
don't think
yeah.
I don't think it's quite as bad. Although I mean it's maybe as contrived, but I
Someone
don't think it's
please use my elf painter OC in one of their adventure paths.
yeah.
And that person was like, alright, done.
All right, done.
Yeah. I think this is maybe the fire elementals being there is maybe as contrived, but fortunately it doesn't matter as much, I guess, because these are just small fire elementals.
out.
They're not like that big a deal. All right, there goes Ron.
Yeah, I'm going.
yeah,
Oh,
anyway,
we're done, right?
we're done anyway. Yeah, so
All right.
that
Good
was the
night.
XP.
Okay, well. Thank you.
Bye,
Yeah,
guys.
thanks.
I'll
Thanks for
see.
playing,
Yep, I'll
guys.
see ya. Take care. Be safe.